The following content contains adult language and humor that is not suitable for viewers under the age of 18. Viewer discretion is strongly advised. The views and opinions expressed during the following video content are those of the individual and may not reflect those of others. Thank you.
Pop Talk is where it's at, baby.
This is Patrick Stewart, and I always want Pop Talk with Pacific for one thing. Make it so.
Oh my God, who the hell cares?
Cash Money can put his change in my piggy bank any day.
Big man noisy!
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and welcome, one and all, to this Wednesday edition of Pacific Forum 4 Pop Talk, along with Baron Norman Tag, Cash Money 007. I am your host, Mike, and tonight we have several articles that we are going to try to talk about, four that we definitely are going to talk about. But first, before we do that, Baron, Cash, how are you doing?
Yo,
Doing
I'm
pretty
here to
good.
blow that I'm here to blow that shit up. Yeah.
And how about you, Cash? You ready to blow that shit up?
Yes, absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
We're gonna go out there and we're gonna make them quake in their shoes.
And
Yeah.
we do that as a nod to a good friend, 24/7 Fusion Media.
I love that guy.
Mhm. Good
He's
dude.
an awesome guy. Speaking of awesome, Baron, you were here in the chat first.
Yeah. Hello, is anybody here?
Is there anybody out there?
Anybody? And
Uh,
then Brandon Looney Tunes Fan 2000 showed up. And then Crazy Norwegian showed up.
Who is that guy?
Jason Fox on 540
he's everywhere,
Studio.
man. He's everywhere.
Who? I mean, honestly. Oh, there is.
I don't know who any of those people are.
Baron. Only Baron would say that. I don't know who those guys are.
Don't worry, we'll crank his memory up. He'll be okay. He'll remember after that. Put him back in the lab. He'll be fine. We'll fix him up.
Yeah. One clamp on one nipple, the other clamp on the other one. And
In 3, 2, 1.
I think Baron might have something to say about that, but
He might.
yeah, I'm
might
into
go.
that.
Yep.
I'm
And
into
then
that crap.
okay. Well,
well.
that was an answer I wasn't expecting. So, Baron,
Take it easy, man.
I think that's more you, because I threw a curveball at you like you can't believe, threw a curveball that not even the late great Pete Rose could.
Very interesting, but stupid.
Let's go ahead and talk about the late Pete Rose real quick.
Okay.
Yes,
he passed away on Monday at the age of 83. He played for the Cincinnati Reds and Philadelphia Phillies. He was a player and manager at one point in his career. and he was also banned from Major League Baseball for betting on his own team.
And he also did the impossible. He got crankier as he got older. It's like we
Oh
already
yeah,
thought we got to that level, but
became more of an
he was
asshole. Yeah,
he well, yeah,
he
he's
could
a
be a nice guy
perfect
too.
curmudgeon.
I hear. Yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Mhm.
he was.
Mhm.
It all depends on how you treated him.
Right.
Yeah. And, one thing about Pete Rose, for any wrestling fans out there, that he did make a few appearances in the WWF at the time, now WWE, especially at WrestleMania, where Kane would come out and tombstone him. But as far as his baseball career is concerned, I strongly believe that Pete Rose, and I know I'm not alone in this, but Pete Rose should be in the Hall of Fame for his numbers alone.
Right. I agree.
Especially since baseball has lifted the ban on gambling on the game. It's considering you can find DraftKings sports betting facilities on Major League Baseball stadium property.
hmm
So,
Yeah, he should. Grandfather didn't know because you
Mm-hmm.
got legal, bring it in.
Well,
And
Tim
but
Kirchin. From,
here's the main hurdle with that.
Mm-hmm.
You have Rob Manfred.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Rob Manfred, who put the DH in the National League. What
Boo!
self-respecting National League fan asked for the DH?
Nobody, but without that, Otani wouldn't have gotten that record. It's something. It really is.
Well, it's a cheat then. It's a
Well,
cheat then. I mean,
look, I don't like it either, but the reality is that people like Otani wouldn't be able to do that. It's just I don't know. I still feel like Mike that we never needed that in the National League,
No.
but it happens. And what can I do? I don't run the league.
yeah, I mean,
so-
as it goes, I think it should have gone the other way. I think the American League should go with the pitcher hits as well. I always thought
That's how it used to be, in
Yeah.
both
Yeah.
leagues.
Yep.
I still obviously feel I have mixed feelings about Pete Rose, but there's no doubt that he had Hall of Fame numbers. There's no doubt about that. And I do agree with Tim Kirchin. There will be at some point in the Hall of Fame, some committee, some people that will look at this down the road and say, maybe we need to give Pete Rose another shot. So who knows? I
Mhm.
do not feel that way though, and I don't care what anybody say about Bonds, McGuire, and some other people. But Pete Rose, I
Bonds,
feel like
McGuire, Sosa, Palmeiro.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, if you talk about cheating in the game,
Right.
right there.
But I think down the road, somebody will probably look at this and say, maybe we need to give him another chance.
Yeah, but
my brother
they
and
should
I,
have inducted him into Cooperstown while he was alive. Imagine that's all
Yeah.
we can do now. Imagine his Hall of Fame speech.
yeah, I know, I know, and maybe with the changing of the gambling rules of major league sports, I think or professional sports, whatever you want to call it. I think maybe, yeah, it might have been time, but it's just I have such mixed feelings about Pete Rose. I feel like he could have come out a lot sooner, and then maybe they would have been like, okay, we're going to let you in the Hall of Fame. But then again, they might screw him over too.
They
So I
should have.
can't
They
say-
should have. They
I
should have done it
can't
as
say
soon as
for
they
sure.
said they were going to allow gambling in the game, especially
Mm-hmm.
if you're at a ballpark like Wrigley Field where they built a facility just for it.
Mhm.
As soon as they
Yeah.
lifted that ban, they should have said to Pete, "Hey, Pete, guess what? It's not being voted on, but we're letting you in.
Yeah, I mean, since they changed the rules,
Welcome to the Hall."
Well,
I know.
Well, see, but that's what Reggie Bush's thing is. Like, oh, I'm suing the NCAA. And look, the NCAA has its problems. There's no doubt about that. But it's like, dude, you also decided to do this when it was illegal, Reggie
Yeah,
Bush.
yeah.
Taking money and doing this. So do you really deserve to then get props? I don't know about that. But the Pete Rose thing, I really believe with Tim Kirchin from ESPN, one of the few people left at ESPN who has a lot of integrity. who's been around a long time, I agree with him that somebody down the road is going to look at this and say, yeah, maybe it's time to finally let him into the Hall of Fame. Let's look at this again.
Yeah.
I think it should have been done a long, long time ago. Because
Mhm.
one, yeah, he broke the rules with the gambling, right?
Mhm.
But the one thing I give props to is, his gambling was not cheating, because while he was the manager, he was betting on his team, which means he
Mhm.
was very confident of his team's ability, and he wasn't going to throw the game. If he was betting for the other side, which was always a problem with some people that was out there, they would throw the game for betting
Yeah.
purposes. Then now you got yourself a major scandal. But this case is, he had faith in his own team.
Yep.
And
Yeah, it wasn't like the 1919 White Sox who
no,
threw the World Series.
We'll see.
Yeah,
It's going to
but
be
there-
interesting how long it'll be. If down the road, maybe a few years from now, who knows? They might, like you said, they might look at it again. Yeah. But go ahead, Baron.
the hill I'll die on in this is if Bart
Hmm.
Giamatti didn't die so suddenly like he did,
Hmm.
that he would have rescinded that during his term and say, okay, we give you that punishment. Now, or negotiate with Pete. Just go out there and say this, and we won't do this ban.
Yeah, it's
Just say it, the ban will be lifted. It might be a few years before people consider you in there. But I fully believe Bart Giamatti, because Bart Giamatti loved the game.
Yeah, I have
Mhm.
mixed
He
feelings
did.
about this, but I do feel that down the road they should probably look at this again, especially now since they have changed the rules of gambling for Major League. So.
Mhm. Well, I mean, for the longest time, a major professional sports team in Las Vegas. Things all got changed, and now we got a big stadium there for football.
Mhm.
Right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, that right there tells you the change and the shift of everything.
I mean, he's not worse than what the owner, before the levees broke, he was going to take the Saints out of the city, out of New Orleans, and he was a scumbag. So Pete Rose, yes, he has his problems. He was flawed like any other human, but somebody's going to look at this down the road, as I will keep saying, and we'll see where they go from there. So.
And a lot of his assholishness too was passion for the game.
Oh yeah, true. I agree with that.
Pete
He
Rose
loved
was rough around the edges, but
Yes.
he had his reason for being rough
Yeah.
around the edges.
Yep.
And I want to say hello to Mecca. Good to see you again. Thank you for stopping by
Hello,
the
Mecca.
Batman Arkham Knight stream last night and stopping by Pop Talk today. This is what I do on Wednesdays with
Yep.
these fine gentlemen, Baron Norman Tag and Cash Money 007.
Welcome
gentlemen.
to the return of the box score.
Yeah, right.
I just wanted to give acknowledgement
I know.
to Pete Rose and
Well, yeah, definitely he needs it.
everything he did for the game of baseball.
Did a lot. That is true.
Yeah. So, gentlemen, are you ready to get into our first article of the evening?
Yes.
Depends on what's about.
Yeah, right.
Oh, the first article of the evening. It's not going to hurt. It's not going to hurt. It's
Okay.
about Disney Plus cracking down on password sharing.
Oh yeah, of course. Idiots.
What?
Yeah.
What?
Yes, the House of
And-
Mouse is cracking down on password sharing.
And by the way, that Park Place, why do you guys take away comments? Why are you guys taking away comments from these websites? It can't be-
If you're on the hill, you're gonna die on the hill. At least, don't become Teflon.
Right,
You
right.
need to hear what
Seriously,
people
come on,
say.
guys. What is the
Pro
problem?
and con. Pro and con.
What is the problem here?
Trent, Trent, come on.
Come on, bro.
Well,
Come on.
this is actually written by the man himself, WDW Pro. It was
see
posted on the site on the 28th. I made sure that the screen was big enough so everybody could read it along with us instead of going,
Nice.
huh? What?
Yeah, no, that's good. That's good.
Oh,
I
like
that,
me?
Yeah,
Yeah.
like you, Baron. But the headline
And I
reads,
see.
Disney Plus cracks down on password sharing as market share shrinks. Let's see what Pro has to say about this. The Walt Disney Company is making it more difficult for families and friends to share accounts in separate households. The so called password sharing concept is facing the ire of a company seeking to implement a similar system as Netflix. When Netflix eliminated the ability to share accounts amongst family and friends, the result was a booming stock and increase in subscribers. However, not all is a surefire hit for Disney with this maneuver. Unlike Netflix at the time, Disney is losing market share. It has yet to be seen how a weakening platform performs when it is made more difficult to obtain it. As you can see, Disney Plus and and Hulu reach a largely merged and interconnected captured a combined 4.8% of all television watching during the month of July. Of course, that's significantly lower than both Netflix and YouTube. Netflix at 8.4% and YouTube at 10.4%, which are in a different class of scale and scope. It should also be noted that Disney is still paying to finish its acquisition of Hulu, whereas YouTube is largely just a profit making machine for its parent company, Alphabet. Let's
What
see.
game?
When combined, Disney Plus and Hulu lost 0.1% of market share for the month. But a more worrisome statistic stands out. Whereas Disney Plus gained 0.2%, Hulu dropped 0.4%. This could indicate worries that Disney Plus is cannibalizing Hulu via its content sharing plan are coming to fruition. One could wisely ask, what does that matter in the grand scheme of things? But the answer should be alarming for Disney executives. The latest information indicates that Disney Plus does not drive as much revenue per user as Hulu. The gamble is that cracking down on password sharing will create better parity, but it's a gamble nonetheless. From a company that is not driving better revenues via content demand, a quick scan of Disney's latest exclusives reveals that neither The Acolyte nor Agatha All Along, both Disney Plus live action series with huge budgets, are driving enthusiasm nor ratings. Disney Plus continues to be largely propped up by animated movies and Bluey. Neither are ad supported due to their young demographics. This week, Disney Plus expanded its paid sharing program to give its users ways to enjoy their Disney Plus subscription along with a family member or friend through the management of devices within a household. These features and capabilities are now available in the United States, Canada, Costa Rica, Guatemala, Europe, and the Asia Pacific region after launching in select markets over the summer. So, what is paid sharing? What does it mean for your account? And how will it impact everything Disney Plus has to offer? Here's what you need to know. How does paid sharing work? Your Disney Plus subscription is meant to be used within your household, which is a collection of devices associated with your primary personal residence that are used by the individuals who reside there. But what about people outside your household? They will need to sign up and pay for their own subscription or be added as an extra member to your account for an additional monthly fee to continue enjoying Disney Plus.
It's like the Netflix nonsense, of course.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And before I continue on, I do want to say hello to You're Wrong.
I guess that's a statement about this. Okay, I understand.
Netflix starts this stuff, and then these
I'm
other
not
companies go, "Oh, we can do that too." Yeah.
And now it says, wait, how do I add someone outside my household to my subscription? Account holders who want to add someone outside their household to their Disney Plus subscription will be able to do so with the extra member add-on. For example, in the US, an extra member profile will cost an additional $6.99 per month for Disney Plus. Basic subscriptions and $9.99 per month for Disney Plus premium subscriptions. Note that only one extra member slot is available per account. So how would any of you who are listening, watching on Pacific Forum for Phantom Hooligans, Baron Norman Tags, Phantom Legacy, like to not only pay for your account, but if you add somebody else, pay for that extra add-on price too?
It's
That
just
goes up
great.
quickly.
Yeah, it's great. It's just Netflix started this, like I said, and then all the companies go, we can do this too, and we're gonna keep doing this.
And
What a perfect way to double or triple down on failure and shooting
No.
yourself in the foot.
And-
You really think this is going to help you?
Yeah, it's funny because even Disney, Paramount, AMC, all of them have been like, oh, Spectrum, we need to make a deal, because the reality is they're not getting enough subscribers just doing what they did by themselves. So then they have to go to a company like Spectrum and, oh, please, please, please. And yes, once again, there's things to like about having Disney Plus, but this kind of stuff is bullshit. It always is. Yes.
And as you can see, there's a catch. Extra member not available for Disney Bundle subscribers or for subscribers billed through our partners at this time. And then it says here, is there an alternative to the extra member add-on? As an alternative to extra member, people outside of your household can sign up for their own subscription to watch Disney Plus. As the account holder, you can transfer an eligible profile to a new subscription or extra member to keep that profile's Disney Plus watch history and settings. Note that certain profiles, including primary profiles, account holders, minors profiles, and those set to junior mode, cannot be transferred.
Really?
Really?
Isn't that one of the aims that you want to have for your Disney Channel? Disney, which is known for its family and family viewership. Oh, that went out a long time ago. Let's see how many cuss words we can put in our stuff.
Especially after 2016 or whatever, things got worse. Yeah.
Yep, and your Ron says, it's like I'm living in the magazine era again and have 100 comic subscriptions to juggle. It's hard to keep track of them all. It is.
Yeah.
I still think so.
I think, once again, when it comes to the streaming services, yes, there's some new content you can find, but it's mostly the old content that's worth watching. But of course, with stuff like Paramount Plus, if you guys didn't also notice or read about it recently, they got rid of the Indiana Jones movies on Disney. Not that I usually watch those anyways, so I guess they're going to Paramount Plus. Of course, they're on Paramount Network anyways, but they've taken some stuff off of Disney, of course, that I guess just recently.
Well,
I mean, it happens with all streaming services, but because of licenses and other things. So.
Yeah, some of the stuff though doesn't have to do with it; just take it off. I mean,
that's right.
Look at Warner Brothers in Max, and
yes,
how many of the animated DC fare they took off that they don't need to.
Not 12 or some. They must maybe 8 or 9. They took off some, definitely more than.
Well, they don't have Year One anymore. They don't have Dark Knight Returns no more.
No.
No loss here. They don't have The Killing Joke anymore.
No, you have to find that other places, unfortunately. Yeah.
Right, and it's like, well, isn't that one of the supposed to be the benefits?
I thought the Dark Knight Returns is still on there, part 1 and 2. I'll have to check again. Did they take it off? Okay.
It's gone. I was on there not too long ago.
Okay.
I mean, I'm talking about like a couple days ago. Going through the list and favoriting stuff that I want to watch. Not giving a thumbs up, but I wanted my watch list.
Yep, and then they have that other stuff also on Tubi. It's something. It's.
Well, that's just it. You're shooting yourself in the friggin' foot.
Yes, but people got mad. Fans
also
got
highlight
mad, though. Yeah,
what Jace is saying too.
Yep.
You are going to have people that are going to sell the highest seas in order to watch this content.
That's right.
Yep.
And
I was going to bring that point up later.
Who's going to want to pay that extra, $6.99 or $9.99,
right,
to have an extra person on their account? Nobody.
Right.
Nobody in their right mind is going to
it's
want to do it.
they keep doing
Yeah.
these things where they're raising the prices of subscriptions, and this is why been talking about the last few years that these subscription services can be a problem because they raise the prices. They don't have enough content on there, enough new content, not the old content, but enough new content to
Or good
keep
content.
people right, or good content. Yeah. I mean, I would tell people all the time, if you're going to have Disney Plus for Spectrum or whatever you want to have, you're going to watch it for mostly the old content, not so much the new
Well,
content.
what is
Sometimes.
horrible about this?
Yeah.
What is horrible about this too is something that they encouraged.
Yes.
They encouraged, and now they're going out there saying what a bad person you are for doing this thing that we encouraged you to do.
Mhm.
And though it's not all the case. This is not all the situations out there, but many of it is. Grandpa or grandma are in the home, and so you put them on your plan so they can enjoy this because, well, either they're living in assisted living, they're living on their own, but they're living by basically 401ks and Social Security. They don't
Yeah.
have all the money in the world, but you want them to have entertainment. So it's
The-
like, okay, I'm going to add them on there.
Right.
And now you just ruined that, which I know there's a lot of people that do that. They just want to make sure that their parents or an uncle or an aunt, somebody like that who
Yep.
is older, is taken care of in that area, and then they can sit back and go, "Oh, I remember when I watched this for the first time, Snow White,"
Mhm.
Yep.
or even all the way, the Aristocats
Yep.
are any of that.
Exactly.
So, yeah, you just really, honestly, you just basically took it up the tailpipe by what you
Yeah.
did.
Yeah.
You
Yeah, they
allowed
did it.
yourself to, you allowed yourself to be Ned Beatty, but you asked to squeal like a pig.
Mhm,
Yep.
mhm.
But you know who doesn't squeal like a pig? No, he just posts links that you have to wonder where they're coming from.
That's right.
It's DJ Ronnie G.
Turtle Man. And also, hello,
And-
Tyler. Good to see
Good
you,
to
man.
see Tyler.
He's actually the guy who inspired me a number of years ago to start streaming. He's a good dude.
Oh, you're the plane. Get him out of here. You're
No,
going
no.
out.
Welcome, Tyler. Regardless of what
Well-
Baron says, welcome.
Good to see you,
Yeah,
man, on
well,
the Phantom Hooligan side, bro.
we forgive you. We forgive you.
Because Baron, you're blaming him, but come on, man. You have to do this, man. You just have to. I need to put it into a better spot, that new clip.
I know. I chuckle.
I know.
Oh,
I chuckled too.
You know what this makes me want to do? You know what this makes me?
Now comes the part where we throw our heads back and laugh. Ready?
I love that clip.
I love that clip.
It's great.
Thank you for adding it, Baron.
Oh,
You're welcome. I just thought, that we need this one too. If you're going to have the one that you're hunting for, and yeah, you're right. I miss Blockbuster. VHS matters also, but don't forget you also got
renting games. Yep.
TVs.
Yes.
But I think what Mike is trying to do, folks, is this.
Take it easy, man.
I'm perfectly calm, dude. Calmer than you are.
You just take it easy.
Calmer than you are.
I love how in that clip his head turns twice. I love that.
Well, you know what I was thinking? I was almost thinking of using Pinata Farms for that clip and putting Baron's icon on Walter and Cash's icon
I love it.
on the dude.
On the dude.
Oh, do it.
Great.
Yeah.
Do it.
That's great. It's
Do
funny.
it. You got to give me that link or whatever that is. So
Yeah.
It's an app. It's an app. It's an app.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah, okay.
And it's free? It's not okay. Or is it
Well, they
something
do have a paid version, but there is a free version.
Did you pay for it or did you go with the free one?
I went with the free one because I'm a cheapskate.
Okay. Yeah.
I was just gonna say, come on, Cash. What a stupid question. You know how cheap he is.
No, it's not a stupid question. He's not always cheap. Come on. Let's
Cheap.
give Mike some credit. What the
Cheap.
hell?
He's tighter than a Scotsman.
And hello to the Padawannabe who says, I think everybody got a thumb. Yeah, I have two of them. How about you guys?
Oh my god.
Oh, that's
Oh,
what it's called, thumb.
oh my God. I think that's Casual's response saying, what's a thumb?
No. Yeah, what's a
I thought
thumb?
that was
I got
just my
the
fat
thumb.
finger.
You got the thumb, got the upvote, whatever,
Oh,
Cash,
Cash.
going off the joke next time.
No, I just decide to be
You know, Cash doesn't have a
serious
sense.
about that. I don't
No,
have a
he-
sense of humor today, no.
No,
No.
anytime.
That's not
He's
fair.
he's a Vulcan. Humor escapes him. But
Oh, okay, I'm a
But
Vulcan.
you know,
then.
he is. But he's quick for this.
You know what really grinds my gears?
So were you yesterday, Baron. So was both of
I thought we were rather tame yesterday.
Yeah, somewhat.
But getting back to this article, it says, okay, so
Oh.
can I watch Disney Plus outside of my household? Yes, if you're away from home or on the go, you'll still be able to watch Disney Plus on your supported devices as the account holder or a member of your household. If you're on the go and you see the message, this TV doesn't seem to be part of the household for this account, you can mark yourself as I'm away from home or select update household. If you've recently moved and need to need to reset the household location for your Disney Plus subscription, these selections will require a one-time passcode that is sent to the email address associated with the account. Is there anything else I need to consider when choosing a paid sharing option for Disney Plus? For more details on the benefits and differences between a Disney Plus subscription and an extra member add-on, including eligibility, pricing, and plan features, visit the Disney Plus Help Center in your region. Remember that Disney Plus and Hulu have a combined investment amount that is likely to close to $100 billion when including infrastructure, technology, bandwidth, and content. That investment was made to challenge at least Netflix. In order to achieve such a feat, Disney will need to double its current streaming market share. Thus, how the password sharing crackdown impacts that will be of great interest throughout the industry. Yeah.
Okay, Disney, you want to know how you fix this? You know how you fix this. You went out there like a greedy pig that you are and bought out Hulu thinking, oh, I'm going to capture the market, right? All you did is start competing with yourself. Because you have people who have Hulu and they have no interest in Disney at all.
That's true.
So boom, they're going to stay with their Hulu account, not even ever thinking of going there. So yeah, they're coming in, but your darling boy is our girl, or G, is suffering for it. If you're going to do a stunt like that, yes, you're going to tee off just about everyone. Basically, you make it that Hulu is now fully absorbed into Disney Plus. You give those that have the Hulu, you basically bring them over under what they have for payment going in there. So their stuff doesn't change except for the fact that it's no longer Hulu, it's Disney Plus, and now you've added all the stuff that you had on Hulu because there was many things out there, and you won't have to worry about competing with yourself and having this issue. That's as simple as that. I know I don't believe in corporate monopolies, but by God, these guys don't know how to do a proper corporate monopoly. That's why you're losing. You never compete with yourself. You compete against others. That's why radio stations suck so much. because you have three major corporations, sometimes only two, that own the majority of the stations. So what are they doing? They're competing with themselves. And it comes bland and stale, and you don't have program directors no more. You have consultants. Yeah, they might have a person with the title program director, but his job is to take that little sheet that comes down from up above and implement it. And they have limited number of songs. A ton of their commercial breaks last for about 15 minutes. Oh yeah, we have less interruptions in song, but we bundle them all in one time.
It's not. I'll be honest. It's not fun to listen to radio anymore.
No.
The only radio that I enjoy is Jack, but Jack used to be Arrow and all the other ones, and they play a lot of good 80s music, thank goodness, and 90s
Yeah.
and some early 2000s. But other than that, it's mostly old music that I would rather listen to on the radio than whatever the hell this new stuff is, a lot of it.
But the thing is, Cash, honestly, I listened to Jack the other day in the car. The wife added to it.
Okay.
Honestly, that has the same problem everything else because it's the part of the corporation. Yeah, they're playing that era music.
I think it's owned by CBS, if I remember, but yeah.
See,
I think it's a CBS affiliate, if I remember correctly. Jack is. Yeah.
An affiliate doesn't, because they're an affiliate does not necessarily mean that they are
right.
CBS.
Right. I get that.
Like
I get
news
that.
Or whatever.
Yes.
Like Mutual Radio, stuff like that.
Yes.
But again, though, CBS is one of the big ones. Honestly, that comes into these areas. It's one of the big threes.
Right.
I mean, they changed the name. It's like I don't even know if Cumulus is still out there or if they changed their name because of the
probably. If they did, they probably changed their name. Yeah.
Yeah, but the thing is, they're still there. It's just they changed their name because they absorbed something else, and now it's just easier to do this. But you have to admit, their playlist isn't very big, very repetitive songs. You might only hear it once a day, but you can almost set your clock to when they play that song.
Good
and
point.
Then the commercial breaks, again, they are like 10 minutes long because, yeah, we're not going to interrupt you as much, but, here we are, 10 minutes of commercial ads. And especially in this season of politics, that's the last thing I want to see or hear right now.
Yeah. The thing I like about Jack, the main thing I do is all the 80s music that they play.
Yeah.
But yes, there's a lot of commercials. I agree with you.
I agree with you. I love that too. Ours is not necessarily in that way. That's because we have KS9, not KS95, Cool 108, which is your 80 now your oldie 80s station.
Yep. But now, of course, after my brother started paying for Sirius FM or Sirius Radio or whatever you want to call it, now he's listening to a lot of the classic rock stations, and it's like, are you going to renew? Yes. So and they have little stories from the actual artists who talk, and then they play it's very cool. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I mean, Cool 108 still has Martha Quinn on her show, and of course, she talks about stuff, obviously being a former VJ, but with that, you can get that on the internet for free, stuff like that.
That's true. So
I mean, I go, sir, find something called Radio Garden. You have the whole world at your oyster that is able to.
I will definitely look into that. That sounds awesome.
Right, and
that's how Baron devotes his time to Dear Leader.
You got that right.
Hey, so Baron,
their channel from North Korea.
They said Jack FM is a radio network brand that is licensed by SparkNet Communications, with the exception of European Union, where it is licensed by Oxus Media.
Yeah, because they got Jack in Britain.
Right.
But still, I mean, it's gotten boring. It really has. I mean, they got a great concept. Theirs is the internet concept, no DJ, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
We have the guy that does
have like a person make little comments here and there and stuff. Yeah,
which is canned. Which is canned.
Right. Yeah.
I used to like it growing up, listening to whatever radio station mom and dad had on, where that DJ would actually get on there before the song started, tell you a little bit about the artist, how the song came about, and where it currently was on the Billboard Top 100 or where it was when it came out.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, thank God we got one of those stations. That's WDGY or Ouija. Stands for Dr. George Young. Not on the frequency it was. WDGY, which has the callers has such a powerful past because they were the ones that were able to bring the Beatles in when the Beatles were not even considering coming to Minnesota. Their first and only appearance in Minnesota. But they're like that. They're still independent. They play their music. They have uh, a wide library. I mean, I heard them play scenes from an Italian restaurant from Billy Joel on there, which is never played on the radio. Why?
Wow.
Because it's a long song. They don't want they don't want long songs.
I get that. Yeah.
That's why they have things like deep cuts. Sometimes they'll devote a show. Some stations will devote a show, and this is our deep cut for an hour. You get the longer, more rich versions. Whether it's Paradise by the Paradise by the Dashboard Light, the scenes from Italian restaurants and others where they've been cut down for radio. But they're independent. So they'll play something like that just as a whim, and they got DJs, and the DJs know their stuff, and they do talk about, this time in history, what was this, and this song was, blah, blah, blah. You don't have that anymore. The DJs nowadays, I mean, yeah, there are some out there, but overall, spin the dial on your car and listen to the DJs, especially during the morning and the drive time. And it's like, hey, I just saw the latest episode of Housewives. Oh yeah, that's so great. Ha ha ha. Can you imagine that? Oh yeah. And let's not forget, if you're the fifth caller, you get a free oven mitt. Oh yeah, ha 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 ha. I mean, it's that bad.
Yeah, I know.
It's
When
like,
they used to
what
have
else?
skits and all this stuff, they had their morning shows.
Imagine if we as streamers did that, regardless of the platform. Hey guys, yeah. No, I couldn't do that.
Yeah.
You know what we call that in industry?
Fake.
That's called puking into the mic. And you know what our motto was? Never puke into the mic. Second rule, never puke in the mic. We were taught not to do that because it's just
It's tacky.
It's tacky. What you need, folks, what we need again, we need to have real personalities. I'm not talking shock jocks. I'm not talking Howie Stern or all that, but real personality, like the Wolfman coming out there and telling you what the hits are all about, man. We're going to be rocking and rolling into the night there. So get in your car, grab your hottie, and start cruising up and down the avenue. That's what you need.
Yeah, that's right. That's what you need. Because, man, I miss Wolfman Jack.
I miss him and some of our local ones that were like that. Ugly Dell was the last of the old timers. And even though it was a talk station, it was part of the Salem network. But he would go on and have his his cruising shows that they had on Fridays and Saturdays, as was at night, so you could cruise up and down the avenue or whatever, play it. And he's playing all the old classics, talking about the old classics, just having a grand old time. Unfortunately, he died of a heart attack not long after his last broadcast, which is a shame. But yeah, I miss the locals. I miss the nationals. When there was actually personality. That's why Martha Quinn in some ways is refreshing to hear when I can, because she's that she's a VJ. What were they taught to do? They were taught to talk in between the songs. They were taught to convey information because their job essentially was to help sell albums. And that's what a lot of DJs is. That's why the payola scam was a big hit. So Disney, you're doing it wrong. You're doubling down on bland crap, and now you're competing against yourself. So what's the first thing to do to entice people to your product? Let's raise prices in this economy. What there some reason for people leaving your service is not necessarily out of anger or spite or disgust. It's because they can't afford it. They have to make a pick what service they have, if any.
Yeah, I mean, I can speak for myself because of the way these streaming services are going up. I can't afford to pay for all of them, so I have cut back.
We don't have any. You know what our source of entertainment then? YouTube, our
Mhm.
Rumble. Because there's a hell of a lot of good
Or
content.
Twitch
I see. I
or
don't have
Kick.
Twitch. Yep, there you go. Twitch or Kick. I can't speak for that one, but I know my fellow brothers here can. Cash was a Twitch star. Did you walk away again?
No,
I'm
he's
here, man.
I
just-
heard him chuckling.
He chuckled. Okay, I didn't hear him chuckle, so I was expecting retorts.
Hilarious, Baron.
I know I am.
No, but no, it's just like KROQ or world famous K Rock as they always call it.
Oh,
KROQ. They used to play a lot of
KROQ.
rock. Yeah, KROQ. Yeah, over here. They've changed so much. I remember when they used to do skits and all that stuff. Even the funny thing is, of course, Jimmy Kimmel started on there, but they all used to do all these cool skits and these shows, and all that stuff has gone out the window now. And I don't know what KROQ is anymore. I haven't listened to them in years. The only radio station I usually listen to besides talk radio here and there is Jack, because of all the 80s music. But you're right, there are a lot of commercials, and it also, they're the home of the Rams here too. So when the Rams games are going on, it's like, nope, no music for you. And then also at a certain hour, Baron, they have CNN on for 2 hours or something. It's like, ugh, whatever.
For a music station, again, what are they programming there?
Right.
I mean, those don't match. You have to, if you're going to own all these stations, you're going to have to figure out what the proper tone is for each one of the stations.
No.
If you're a music station, which Jack is supposed to be all music all the time, playing
music,
what we want.
All what we want, exactly.
Right. You should not put a football, baseball, news broadcasts on there.
No,
Unless, of
they
course,
get license
it's an
rights.
emergency.
So yeah, they get license rights. Unfortunately,
But I'm sure they they own so many they can negotiate. Hey, how about this station?
Yes, I'm sure they do.
No, because they want to sit back, and if they have these things, they want to try to get that viewer up. They know that they have that station with that sports is going to boost ratings, and unless of course they need the boost for Jack because it's not being listened to as much.
Right.
I don't know. I don't see the Arbitron book, so I haven't seen an Arbitron book in decades. To be honest with you. I tell you, when that thing came out, it was like a sacred ceremony. It's like, do we sacrifice the baby today to make sure we have higher Arbitron ratings? The station I worked at was at one time on the low end of the Arbitron and then dropped off. It's like, yeah.
So any
It
final
wasn't because
thoughts
of me either.
on the Disney Plus password sharing article from that Park Place before we move on to one where I will admit I think the three of us need to
Take it easy, man.
Yes.
I just
I said it all out. It's all across the board. Everything I sat back and said, including the radio, goes down with Disney.
Yes.
This is only going to hurt them even more.
Yeah,
They're losing that much
not
money.
smart.
Yeah,
They just did two. Yeah, Disney has been involved in two smart things recently with the box office. You got Inside Out 2, and then of course Deadpool and Wolverine. That's probably more Ryan Reynolds, but it's still tied to Disney, and so is, that was two.
No, it didn't save the MCU, Baron.
No, we're not here. Funny, Baron. Baron's just trying to slide that in there, but but when Disney does this, once again, you just shake your head. You're like, what are you doing? What are you thinking?
Well, and that's just it. And if
It'll
there
make us
is
more
a-
money. No, it won't. No, it won't.
The thing is what's showing that we are winning this battle, this war of our entertainment. And I'm serious about this. We are. Don't let people out there tell you otherwise. I know there's streamers, friends of ours even, who are still in despair and looking at the dark side of life. The bright side of life is this is showing that we're winning because they have nothing to offer to keep people. By contrast, honestly, they should be so powerful and loved for a service that even having Hulu, they should not have to worry about that. They'll still have uh, good viewership, even with people who don't want to join them and want to stay with Hulu. They've had a massive drop, and then comes the uncomfortable question: why? Well, I think we can squarely look at how they've been treating fans, how they've been treating viewers, how they've been treating just everybody with their BS. So with that, we are winning. I do say that don't be surprised. This is the first steps into one thing. They're going to start cutting divisions. I still hold my prediction. It's a prediction. I have nobody on the inside. But the fact that it has been doing them the worst right now, Lucasfilm will be the first one to either be cut or, if they're afraid of it getting to the proper hands and being good competition, they'll absolutely just destroy it. Yeah, it's folded. The next
Do
one
you
will be.
do you see them possibly taking Hulu and Disney Plus and making it all one platform?
I think when it's too little or too late, too little too late. I think they'll do it if they didn't do it now, where it is really majorly affecting them. Someone might actually wake up and go, "What if we do this?" But at that time, you've lost enough blood. You're basically on the way home, if you know what I mean. You see the light at the end of the tunnel, and that light is not necessarily, it's basically you're going to the promised land. So they might do it if they start dropping their their acquisitions. Then it might. You mean Ford had to do it. They got rid of Jaguar. They got rid of Volvo. They got rid of Land Rover. They got rid of so many different acquisitions that they had, and they weren't even all that old of acquisitions, and kept themselves afloat and didn't take government money. But they did. You saw Chevrolet, or GM, I should say, dropping complete total lines of cars. As did Ford. They got rid of Berkeley. Then you have Dodge.
GMC got rid of Pontiac.
Yep. And Oldsmobile. The oldest car company in the world at that time. Basically a giant. Who would have thought that this old prestigious line of cars is now gone? And so that's why I say anything's on the table. If GM was willing to do that, and what did Dodge Chrysler get rid of? So all along the board, they were either dropping or selling. And this is what's going to happen here. They're going to probably try to merge, maybe, but again, too late. They're going to have to start getting rid of their acquisitions or liquidate them, which I hope they don't do, because I'd love to see these get in other people's hands. And if they look, then they'll really start pissing off people and the fans, and that'll be a goodbye Disney moment. It really will. I mean, that's when you can actually sit back and go, "It's over, man. It's over." As we joke,
As I know people love to say Disney's dead. Disney's still alive, guys. Just remember that. But They're still making. Let's just put it to you this way: they are making some really dumb decisions that they don't need to.
Right, and the smart decision would be right now is to sell off, because if you sell off, at least it's in liquidate, you get some money, right? You might not get what you paid for it. In fact, I know you won't, but you're going to get something back at least. You're not going to go away empty-handed fully if you did a liquidation. So, but the first one will be Lucasfilm, because right now Lucasfilm is a huge anchor on them. And we're not going to get involved with talking about that part, but it is. The next one that would go would be Marvel, because again, that is an expensive property to have and not bringing in the return. They're going to hold on to Pixar for as long as they can. Why? That's the one that's doing good. And if they
they lost Pixar before, and then they're like, please, here's money.
Yeah,
we're sorry.
But the thing is, if it comes to the point that they're going to sell Pixar, they are really bad shape.
Yes. If they lose Pixar again, yes, definitely.
Yeah. And maybe this might be the end of the Disney Corporation, or someone will come in because of the prestige of the name, swoop in and do a hostile takeover.
Yeah, I'm sure there's.
And we can't leave that out of the books.
You have to take into account anything that can happen.
Well, we know some of Walt Disney's family is not happy how things have been going at Disney for at least more than a few years. So they've made that very clear.
Well, yeah, they're the ones that allowed it to be that way by these people getting put in there.
True.
And getting rid of their say in the company.
Mm-hmm.
So, and it didn't help that Roy Jr. wasn't following his dad's footsteps. He's the one that really helped bring these leeches in, because he saw money signs instead of quality signs, which in turn brings in the money.
Right, exactly.
Yeah,
no brainer, but
you'd think obviously there's a lot of things that are no brainer they could be doing and not be in a situation, but they ignore it.
Right.
And I'm going to play this clip.
Surely you can't be serious.
I am serious. And don't call me Shirley.
Yeah.
I mean, I was reading if that report is correct. I say if. And I was from that Park Place recently that they said it's possible that the new Snow White film, the live action one, is potentially going to cost $500 million or a little bit more than $500 million. I was like, oh my God. And it's possible they could do this. We've seen these bloated budgets, but if that's the truth, that's just stupid.
Well, not only that,
we don't know. We haven't seen the books. And
exactly, we haven't.
Yeah.
You also have to factor in the advertising that they're going to spend on it before it comes out. And what's the return going to be? Box office sales. How many people are going to go show up?
Exactly.
And then factor in when it comes to digital.
Yep. I mean, how many? Yes, they've had big successes. Both, obviously, you got two major films because people really wanted to see. A lot of people did. Deadpool and Wolverine. You got that easily.
Deadpool and Wolverine still playing at my local theater.
Right, as it should. And then you, of course, have Inside Out 2, which is now the highest grossing animated film of all time, which it deserves.
Wow.
But
I didn't know that.
let's see where Disney goes from there. But when they do these things, it's like, have you learned anything? You started to, and then you're going back to your old ways. Yeah.
Speaking of not learning anything,
I don't know anything.
all actors just need to mind their own business.
Oh, well, first of all, let's have this disclaimer before we get in.
How many of you think the opinions of actors should be valued as much as, well, say, doctors, engineers, or a courageous congressman?
Right here. Yeah, right on.
Well, you're wrong. Actors are self-centered punks.
Okay, now we got that out of the way.
We have this article on Bounty in the Comics by Jacob Smith. It was posted on October 1st, and the article says Star Trek alum Will Wheaton takes aim at Shazam star Zachary Levi over his endorsement
Zachary
of
Levi,
Donald
yeah.
Trump. That's right, Donald Trump.
Yep.
And speaking of which, it doesn't matter who the president is. I'm still going to do an impression of that person.
Yep.
What a disappointment. What a disgrace. How disgusting.
Yeah.
Well,
how dare
Will
Yep.
Wheaton. I have got something for you.
Yeah, well, that's just like your opinion, man.
How
Okay, first of all,
dare
before we get-
Zachary Levi, as they say when you're using a surname or an actual name, it's always Levy. I wanted to go look that up to see if it is pronounced Levi, but anyways, Zachary Levi. Oh no! How dare him have an opinion that Will Wheaton doesn't agree with?
Well, before we go on further in this, how dare he take it to a personal attack? Because this is the problem, and it primarily comes from leftist soy boy girls with crystals and meth addictions. Go-to is okay. They do the personal attack. They go after the person who wants to vote that way. Try to shame them and make them feel bad, and make them seem stupid and dumb. It's typical. But the thing is, I'm sorry, Will Wheaton is not really known for his intelligence at all.
I'll have to check that, Phil, because Inside Out 2 has over 1.3 billion or something. I'll have to check worldwide. So you might be right about that.
I can look at it real quick.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, you got Mike here. He knows. He's got his finger in the pulse.
We can check that though, Phil. That's fine. I don't.
Yeah,
it's not a big deal.
No, well, it's Phil, of course not. But no, I mean, again, a little weenie boy, Phil. I was going to say Phil. Will Wheaton.
Yeah.
It's like, shut up, Wesley.
Yes.
I mean, going after the candidate is one thing, right?
Yeah.
Going after him, whether it's both, that includes J.D. Vance. Going after the candidates is one thing. But when you start attacking citizens, average people, whatever, then you've crossed that line. You're attacking people for their belief and their opinion, how they view things.
Mm-hmm.
And Levy said it right. I mean, if you listen to what you sat back and said,
yeah, he did. And look, I know he went off on people about the whole Shazam thing and started acting like a douche to fans, but it doesn't matter. He has an opinion that's different than someone else. Top highest grossing films of all time ranked. Okay.
We're talking about this year, Phil.
We're talking about this year, though, yeah. I will check, though, if it's the highest grossing of all time. They say, I think they had said before Frozen 2 was, and so this is beating Frozen 2, but if it's just Disney, I don't know. It still made a lot of money. I mean, those are impressive numbers, Phil. I'm not saying they aren't, dude.
Yeah.
They are impressive numbers, man. But that's anime. Yeah, but right.
Well, it's all animation.
Yes.
Animation, anime counts for animation last time I checked. Back to you, Mike. I love the awkward silence.
I know.
So getting into this article from Bounty in the Comics, it says Shazam duology star Zachary Levi drew the ire of the Hollywood community on Saturday night when he appeared alongside former presidential candidate Robert F. Kennedy Jr. and former Rep. Tulsi Gabbard at a Donald Trump campaign rally in Michigan. Well, from what I've read, Zachary Levi was supporting Robert F. Kennedy Jr.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
So it goes on to say, taking the stage that night to moderate a panel between the two politicians, the star of Warner Brothers Shazam and Shazam Fury of the Gods, stunned his peers in Hollywood by prefacing the meeting by publicly endorsing Trump rather than Democrat candidate and Hollywood favorite Kamala Harris. It says, breaking, Hollywood superstar Zachary Levi just came out in full support of Trump, saying he initially supported RFK Jr. He just gave a beautiful speech in Michigan. I stand with Bobby, and I stand with everyone else who was standing with President Trump.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they want to try to sit back and see about all the people that was with Trump and the administration that turned coat and now are supporting. Are people like Dick shoot you in the face Cheney, who I got news for you, even Republicans didn't like. So you say anybody saying that Dick Cheney is supporting Kamala Harris, like, yeah, so and I mean, what a shock! It didn't have the impact they wanted. But when it comes around to people like RFK Jr., Tulsi Gabbard, now of course, Levy, it comes down to the fact that they don't want to mention that. In fact, on the contrary, they want to demonize it. Look at all the flack that darling boy RFK Jr. had. He was a darling boy. But now he's not, because of course he has that magic name, Kennedy. You can kill bears and toss them in the Central Park with the name Kennedy, and no one will bat an eye. That's weird. It's just ridiculous, and so much hypocrisy.
It says the actor opened the panel by endorsing Trump and taking a stand against corrupt governments and their corporate allies by explaining his upbringing and political affiliation. My parents were Kennedy Democrats that then turned into Reagan Republicans, and they taught me to have a healthy level of distrust for the government and a healthy level of distrust for industry that runs amok, Levy said.
Well, remember that famous phrase from Reagan? What are the most disturbing words you can hear? I'm here from. I'm here from
the government is here to the government is here to save you, something like that.
Yeah.
I'm here from the government. We're here to save you.
I'm here to help you. I'm from the government. Yeah,
something
exactly.
Like
that, something like that. We're paraphrasing, obviously, but that's the message. And that was coming from the lips of good old Ronnie Reagan, and that is fully, again, a JFK Jr. type of thing. So, of course, people would migrate when you hear stuff like that.
It says, Levy, who is a libertarian, explained his decision to support Trump after his preferred candidate, Robert F. Kennedy Jr., endorsed Trump following the primaries. I stand with Bobby, and I stand with Tulsi. And I stand with everyone else who is standing with President Trump, said the Chuck star, because I do believe of the two choices that we have, and we only have two, Donald Trump, President Trump, is the man that can get us there. And he's going to get us there because he's going to have the backing and support and the wisdom and the knowledge and the fight that exists in Robert Kennedy Jr. and former Representative Tulsi Gabbard.
Don't the Libertarians have anybody running?
I don't know. I don't know. Maybe Robert F. Kennedy was it. I know he's not Libertarian, but
no, he was basically an independent. But I mean, I voted for Harry Brown back in 2000. I went Libertarian then, so I mean that's why I'm kind of wondering.
He went on to say,
the Libertarian Party was decent. That is, sorry about that.
We live in a country that's been hijacked by a lot of people who want to take this place off the cliff, he continued, offering a non-direct criticism of the Democratic Party. We're here to stop that. We're here to make sure we are going to take back this country. An outspoken opponent of Big Pharma ever since his father died from cancer in January 2023, less than 1 week after the death of his dad, in response to an ex user who asked, "Do you agree or not that Pfizer is a real danger to the world?" The actor replied, "Hardcore agree." Levy then asserted that Americans were being inundated every single day with poison, not just in the foods that we're eating and not just in the pharmaceuticals that are being shoved down our throats, he explained, but also in the images that we are looking at, the audio that we are hearing through our media. We are being poisoned and lied to. While the industry will certainly aim to take aim at Levy for publicly endorsing Trump, Levy made it very clear not to fall for the left-wing tactics of division, telling attendees Harris supporters are being deceived by more powerful forces and preaching unity in the face of division. Citing his Christian faith, the actor called on his fellow voters to not attack their opponents, as every single person, whether you're a Democrat, whether you're a Republican, whether you're a libertarian, an independent, every single one of us is a child of God.
Amen, because that's basically what we said here.
Yes.
On our show. It's like, if you disagree, it's fine. I mean, it'd be, put up a good argument for it and have a nice discussion, but we're not going to go out and hate you, call you names, or any of that. Unless, of course, you bought Bear Gate 3 for only one purpose and have sex with the bear. Then, forget, all gloves are off.
It says every single one of us is deserving of being seen and heard and loved and valued, he added. Let me just scroll down here. It says, following Levy's speech, social media exploded with reactions to the news, with some cheering on the actor for his bravery and others condemning him for daring to endorse a Republican, much less Trump. Among the latter was none other than Star Trek The Next Generation actor Will Wheaton. Yes, I'm going to keep doing it the way Stewie does it on Family Guy.
Why are you saying it like that? Wheaton.
Who the day after the rally took to his personal Facebook page to share his newfound feelings of disgust towards Levy.
Can you please point on the doll where he hurt you, pussy boy?
I should have made a Shut Up Wesley clip.
You know what?
Shut up, Wesley.
If he keeps on going out there and shoving that soy boy face out there, I mean, I'm amazed he's able to. I mean, he had to sit down at the computer and do this because I don't think he could. Look, I've seen his arms. I don't think he's capable of picking up a phone. He's so soy. It's like, it's too heavy for me. And his wife's going, just pretend you're filming me with my boyfriend.
Well, see, and this
I
is the whole
I
thing.
have seen that, DJ. I have.
On this show, we're not ever going to tell anybody, oh, you should vote for this person or you should vote for this person. But this is another situation where you have an opinion that somebody doesn't like and somebody's trying to basically cancel somebody else because they have a different opinion. That's wrong.
That's Hollywood, though.
That's right. A lot of it is.
We all have different opinions, whether it be us on the panel, those who are in the chat. We all have different opinions.
Yeah,
and as long as we're
too, but we don't have to hear it.
Of course, Jerry Ryan, of course, DJ, of course.
Yeah. Sex Club Ryan,
Sex Club Ryan.
Well, that was part of the divorce.
Never heard that one before.
That's funny.
That was part of the divorce. She was claiming that her husband at the time, where she got the name from, was making her go to sex clubs and stuff like that.
Oh, really? I had not heard about that.
You did not know that?
No, I had not.
No, I hadn't heard about that either.
Wow, dude, really? That is crazy. Jeez.
Yeah. So, I mean, whether it's true or not, it's like, well,
I don't know.
It's also heels up Ryan.
Uh,
So
She'll give
Will,
ahead to get ahead in business. So,
Will Wheaton said this: "Something I love about our nerd community is how welcoming and diverse we are," he wrote. "We are a safe place for everyone who has ever been othered. We are a safe place for vulnerable people to come together and safely love all the wonderful nerdy stuff we love. With that in mind, I think it's pretty important for anyone who supports Nerd HQ knows who and what they are supporting. What a disappointment," he then concluded. "What a disgrace. How disgusting. Huh, wait a minute. We're supposed to be welcoming Will Wheaton and diverse. That means different opinions.
well, this is
That
also
means
the
that
Mhm.
hold on.
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
That means
No.
infinite diversity in infinite combinations.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's always the same story, the same playbook. It never changes.
That means
I bet you
regardless
most-
of what my opinion is, Baron's opinion is, Cash's opinion is, DJ's opinion is, or anyone else's, you have to understand that that is their opinion. That is where they're coming from. They present their argument to you. If you still feel strongly about your opinion, then you need to understand that no matter what you say, you're not going to change the person's opinion, just like they're not going to change yours. And you just need to agree to disagree.
Well, I mean, and look at the classiness of Levy. I mean, he goes out there emphatically making it known, we're all citizens. We have different viewpoints, but we can get along with each other. We can be together. Just because we're all God's children, and we need to do that. Meanwhile, humanist, right? This is why I say humanism is bullshit. Mr. Humanist, who's supposed to say we are getting better, is attacking individuals for their opinion because they dare not march goose step with them. You have Will Wheaton out there doing this shaming, being an absolute twat waffle.
Yes.
Oh, excuse me.
Again.
Who's one? Yeah. Well, yeah. Continuing to be. No, it's not again. It's just this continual trip down twat waffle land. We can make a song about it. Twat waffle land.
This is also the guy who picked Anna Sarkeesian as somebody who was inspirational in Time magazine. That says a lot about this guy.
Well,
That's a few years ago, at least.
Well, you have to try to find somebody who will spread her leg for him. His wife's too busy with her boyfriend. I mean, but with that amount of soy, he can't get it up.
And Phil says Will Wheaton is it's not the creator, is probably what he meant. It's not the creator or the spokesperson for Star Trek. He's not a William Shatner. Well, unfortunately, Phil, if you're on Twitter, which I know you're not, but
no,
if you're on Twitter and you show that you have an interest in Star Trek, you do see the tweets from the Star Trek actors who push their political opinion.
Yes.
Right.
And there are many of them out there. There are some who don't. But there are those who do. William Shatner is one who does not.
No.
Why? Because he's not an American citizen.
Mm-hmm.
He keeps his opinion out of American politics.
Yeah. No, that's Trudeau.
Another person who I don't see anything from as far as politics is Robert Beltran.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't post his political
some of them don't care, I guess. I didn't know until Baron told me about. Of course, Tim Russ is one of those guys out there pushing his politics, I guess.
Well, he's one of those guys that goes out there. He attacks Christians. He literally does attack Christians. He goes out and attacks people on the right. If you just happen to be just a toe over the line of Marx, he attacks you. And he's an absolute gimboy. This guy is the epitome of what's wrong with America. And you can be an atheist and still be good for America. But no, he's one of those that are when they try to sit back and say about how Christians are so horrible and pushing stuff. Put the mirror, look in the mirror there, Mr. West. I know it's kind of hard because you're ugly, but look in the mirror and do a fact check on yourself.
Yeah, and real quick,
we've had Trek against Trump movement going before, and it's always the usual suspects.
Yeah, and DJ is saying, no, wait. Beltran did post once. It was hilarious. He responded to Tuvok about socialism. It was epic. I'll see if I can find the tweet. All right, DJ. Please do.
That's why you are not only our, what do they call information broker, but turtle master, turtle wrangler.
Yes. So the article says, returning to the Post a few hours later, Wheaton would edit his initial words to add, gently pointing anyone who was not aware of it to the paradox of tolerance. A place is not safe if you can't keep out the people who would make it unsafe. This includes non-physical safety, and fundamental human rights are not a matter of opinion. I really wish we had a Shut Up Mostly clip.
No, but we can sit back and do. You know what? Fuck you, Will Wheaton. Just fuck you, and fuck you, Mark Hamill. Just fuck you.
Oh, you had to add that in there.
Yeah, I knew this would get you fired
You were
up,
wanting me to do it. I fell into the trap.
Man.
I fell in the trap. And I couldn't hold out. Will Wheaton, you're
Hey, Bear.
Hey,
Bear. Here's $1. Come on, Bear. Get the $1.
Here's $1, Bear. Come on. No, it's
too
just
quick. Too quick.
It's just Will Wheaton is just like a lot of people in Hollywood. Just a snot-nosed brat or just some elitist that thinks they know everything when they don't even do their own research and stuff. And how dare you have an opinion that disagrees? How dare him? He has to vote for this because he's been in Hollywood. And so, of course, what happened next was when this started coming out, people on social media were like, well, you were in that horrible movie Shazam too. Yes, I get that. But once again, he can still have his own opinions. I know how terrible.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
What have you done lately, Will Wheaton? Will Wheaton. What have you done lately?
Well, he did important things on Paramount Plus, like the was it the Ready Room? Oh, that was hard.
Yeah, the after show that he would do, talking to the different actors of Discovery and
he just soy all over him, just soy all over him.
Jeez, man, too much soy is bad for your health. I really believe that.
when you're someone who was involved in real classic Star Trek.
Yes.
And you're doing this promotion of this crap and just oozing and gooing over them. Yeah, you're not very smart. These are the people that are destroying your any semblance of your
exactly. You don't have to act like this. You choose to act like this.
Nobody has to act like this.
It's stupid. No. It's just
stupid. He's still bitter because people didn't like the character of Wesley. He's taken it personally.
Yep.
And I remember back in the day that we would mock the character of Wesley. We never mocked Will Wheaton. In fact, I felt sorry for the shit because it's like, my God, the poor guy is in a role that is unlikable. He's in a role of basically a little know-it-all twat wiener. He's basically playing Gene Roddenberry as a kid, which was the inspiration. Gene Wesley Roddenberry, Wesley.
Right. That was,
so, and of course, in his role, his part actually got better when Roddenberry got sick and was not able to be on the set, involved all the time. And sadly, when he passed away, because we don't want our people to pass away, but it happens, right? But when Gene Roddenberry was totally out of the picture, Wesley became more of a manageable, likable individual. But the
I
damage
think
was
that's
done.
fair. I think that's fair. Yeah.
Right. But the thing is, the damage has been done. And he's still bitter over that. Why do you think he left? He was just still bitter. It's like, he can't stand Shut Up Wesley. He made it known on his Twitter account that if anyone does a Shut Up Wesley, you're banned.
Wow. Good.
Yeah.
That's
And,
funny.
I'm about to do that.
Well, I did that before on one of his tweets a while back. It got a lot of likes, and I laughed.
Yeah, well, there's a lot of people that follow him that don't like him.
Well, it's the same with streaming. You can have people that follow you that don't necessarily like you.
No.
Right. Or agree with you. That's fine.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I look
Wesley.
at stuff I don't agree with because you know what other people say.
Right. And that's what's also funny about the Leguizamo people, the other kind of people. They keep running their mouths, and then at times, just like De Niro, then they're like, "Oops, too much backlash," and they can't take it, so then they go hide. But with Wesley, oh man, he's ready for the soy all the time. So
yeah. Well, the thing is, also the big mistake they're doing is they're going after individual Americans. You're going after Americans.
Yes,
just the average population.
Right.
You don't do that.
No.
You don't know why this person is voting this way.
Exactly.
You have to ask them, why are they doing it?
That's right.
Why haven't my side convinced you to be with them?
Yes.
And get prepared for answers you don't like.
That's right.
Will Wheaton cannot handle that.
He can't.
That's something
that
my
time and time again.
parents instilled with me. When you ask somebody a question or you confront somebody, be prepared for two things.
Always.
Something you want to hear, or more likely, something you don't want to hear.
Mm-hmm.
So getting back to the article, it says, notably, Levy previously stated that he did not support Trump in 2020, but also refused to condemn Trump supporters like members of his industry were directed to do. I'm no fan or supporter of Trump, and I find his behavior to be vulgar, callous, narcissistic, and lacking empathy, he said. And while I'm not a conservative, I know many who backed 45, not because they liked him, but because he was the only candidate they felt cared about their needs.
Yep.
It's safe to say that whatever hopes Levy may have had of reprising his role as the world's mightiest mortal in James Gunn's DCEU have likely gone up in a lightning fast flash of smoke. Sorry.
Good.
As Levy's Trump endorsement makes the rounds in the entertainment circuit, it'll be interesting to see what further backlash he will receive from his industry peers for its political endorsement. Perhaps he can smooth things over by attending some of their secret parties. I see what the author did here. I see what the author did here.
Slide that in there. I like that.
I like it. Well, well, you know what? There's also the other statement that he sat back and said there, and why all of our friends out there should know. He said how the industry goes after the supporters. In other words, the people that pay to see their shit, right?
That's right.
So you're told to go and attack the people and make them not like you, because in the film industry, you gotta be likable. You gotta have some sort of charm.
Understand your fan base.
Yeah, whether you're what they think their fan base is.
Right.
Is the Soy Boy Brigade, because they live in the freaking bubble. They believe that the only ones that they're fans are blue-haired land whales that make whale sounds when they like something on the screen. And then, of course, maybe eat the person's laying next to them because they ran out of popcorn. It doesn't matter. But the thing is they say about attacking the fans, which they're good at. No wonder why they would say that. These people are full of that. How dare you not think like us? How dare you not like the product we're giving and a message that we're not subtly putting in there, which really people don't necessarily mind that, but
It's
basically pounding you over the head like a
That's
sledgehammer.
right. It's just like
This,
that guy. Go ahead. Yeah.
oh, I said this. This is what we've had for, well, at least 10 years, maybe starting to go a little bit more, because this is when they all started going really unhinged.
Yes.
So I want to repeat something to you.
Almost-
Will Wheaton hates you.
That's right.
Disney hates you. Jerry
Mark Hamill
Ryan
hates you.
Mark Hamill, yeah. All these people fucking hate you. If there's one person who's coming out and spreading love, and not necessarily the people that agree with him, on the contrary, especially more so for the one, is Levy.
Yep.
Right there.
That's
Listen
why.
to what he says compared to what this twat waffle will go fuck yourself Wheaton is saying.
Yep. It's
They hate
amazing.
Baird.
What?
Baird.
What?
I just got one thing to say to you, man.
What?
I think you know what it is. I think I don't even have to tell you, but
Take it easy, man.
I'm perfectly calm, dude. Calmer than you are.
You just take it easy.
Calmer than you are.
Mike, and see, notice what I was doing. I was trying to give enough of a time for you to find it. Doing the one. I was helping you, man. I'm a team player.
and speaking of
But I'm
helping,
still calmer than you.
I mean,
speaking of helping, DJ did find.
Oh, great!
So, this is what Tim Russ said 2 years ago. He posted this. Your daily reminder that fascism is much worse than inflation. Then Robert Beltran, who played Chakotay on Voyager, said 2 reasons not to vote Democrat. Thanks, Tim.
You know what? Yeah,
That is brilliant.
Great. I remember this one now.
I didn't see this one.
That's awesome.
I remember that one. I forgot about it, but I remember that one because it's a rare one from him. But you know what? I'm sure it's one of the reasons why he had problems on the set of Voyager. But he's right at center.
Yeah. It's unfortunate because Tim Russ is actually a good actor, but once again, can you act like a better human being?
So
in
is
real
Robert
life?
Beltran, but he pretty
is.
much was relegated to background character once Jerry Ryan came in. And
yeah, I know. I like Chakotay. He's a good character.
Yeah,
but
well,
you're right.
Yeah, and you know, I'm sure because of his political view, you know that Kate Mulgrew didn't like him. She's married to, or was married to, I don't know if she still is, but a Democratic congressperson.
Yeah, that's one thing that more people, including myself, we need to talk about. I mean, I think it's horrible that now even at conventions that people are like, look, people are paying for this. You can't assume you know what people's political opinions are. And then you go, hey, I want to hear this actor who I liked in this show. And then they start in with their political shit. And you're like, oh, for fuck's sakes.
I saw a post on Twitter after the Las Vegas convention.
Me too.
Where someone
it's the
said,
same one,
I came here for a Star Trek convention. And then somebody asked one of the guests their political opinion. And that person who made the post said, I did not come here to hear political discussion and someone's political opinion. And there are people like that, even if they are Democrat, even if they are Republican, there are people who would rather go to a convention and talk about what they're there to talk about.
But how funny is it that
the
it's
show
always
that person was on?
Yep. How funny is it? It's only on the one side and not the other side.
Well, that's because we know where majority of them sit. We don't even need to ask the question, nor do we even care to. If they're not talking about it, great, no problem. I don't care. You can be voting for Lyndon LaRouche for all I care.
That's right.
But at least you're not going out there pushing and going out and insulting a majority of your fan base, probably a lot more than you think, by the statements you make and the attacks you make to, again, the average person. Do I need to remind people why Trump won in 2016? It's very simple. Good old Hillary did one thing. She insulted half of America. Potential people that were probably not even haven't decided yet. But she attacked their personal beliefs and called them deplorable. You are deplorable. Trump insults people, but it's one-on-one, not a blanket swath. And people saw that. When he already sat back and made a shot at somebody, it was personal, not ambiguous. That's why he won. And you know what, Stars? Better start learning that. If a fan or somebody comes and attacks you, yeah, go all out and blast them if you have the ability to. You know, mental ability and wit to. But to go out there like Will Wheaton and attack not just Levy, but supporters of a different view, like he did, is not the best path to go at all. You lose more than ever. Yes, we get it. You're a soy boy hack. Will Wheaton. We understand. You
Yep,
like
he's got more soy in him than Jar Jar Abrams and some of these other people. I'm sure of it.
I try never to do a blind swath with attack on anybody. You know, even if they're going and liking Acolyte or they like Discovery or whatnot. The only thing I do attack is anyone who wants Barrigate 3 for the bear sex. No bear sex, and for obvious reasons.
Yeah,
that's just weird and sick. But you know what side it's usually coming from? The one that's calling us weird and sick. And all we ask for, at least on this channel, primarily, leave our franchises alone. Be respectful for what it is. Yes, we know that certain things had a left leaning, but they weren't woke and they weren't SJW. There was social awareness, which is far, far different than the other two. And you're too goddamn dumb to figure it out. And no, I'm not meaning that in the blasphemous way. If you're that fucking stupid, it's damnable.
Yeah. And now, moving on from Will Wheaton, we, of course, will take time to talk about Chris Christopherson and also John Amos, who passed away just recently. And, for John Amos, yes, Variety's mentioning, Good Times and Roots, but he was also in Coming to America, and he was good in that.
Yeah, he had a good role in that. Yes.
The McDougalls by my house lowered their flag to half.
The McDougalls, yeah.
The McDougalls, yeah.
Tim's asking if we could start over.
Dang it, Tim.
Hey, Tim. You know I like you, so because we like you so much, Tim. No.
No, I was just gonna bring this up for Tim.
My calculations are correct. When this baby hits 88 miles per hour, you're gonna see some serious shit.
I like mine better.
Of course you do. But we had this article.
We appreciate the sarcastic, smart-ass comment there, Tim, though. So thank you.
That's why I thought mine was more appropriate.
It was. It all works.
See, that's on my side, Mike. Nah.
Wow.
Gosh.
Really? Really? You're gonna act like a 2-year-old.
Hey, we just got off a story about Will Wheaton.
Just because we got off a story about Will Wheaton doesn't mean you have to sink down to his level.
I'm channeling them.
Oh boy.
Use logic, Baron. Simple logic.
Yeah, I don't want to have to pee soy. Okay.
So
this hurts. This is one that hurts. So
yeah, Chris Christopherson, country music legend and A Star Is Born leading man, dies at 88. I have to fix that. I put 81. So
Okay, I
let me fix that
all
on
right,
both
dude.
sides. And Baron,
Okay.
if you want to go ahead and read the article while I fix that, I'll
Oh,
post the link
yeah,
in the
sure.
chat.
Please do. It makes it easier for me because I'm not that capable.
Oh,
And
good. There's two people,
I will
Baron.
fix my error. I will
Baron,
fix
they
my error.
couldn't just have one person for the article. Look, it's back to 2 again on Variety. Yay!
Well, you know what it is probably one started the obit and the other one finished it because the one by the one was probably done a couple years ago when they're thinking, is he dead yet? Is he close to dead?
Well,
That's
yeah,
how they work.
right. But don't you think there just needs to be one person? I mean, I guess 2.
Yeah.
It just
Well,
seems a little too much, man.
I
Seems more
know.
professional just with one. Just my opinion on that. Yeah.
Well, maybe both of them were really big fans and they wanted to contribute to
Okay.
it. That
Could be. All right.
I'm just gonna go
I'll
that
give you
way.
that. I'll give you that.
Yeah, I mean, I try to look for the best, but of
Yeah.
course, this is from Variety. Chris Morris and Chris Williams, the Chris's,
The Chris's.
wrote this. Yeah,
Mhm.
Chris Christopherson, and it's about Chris. Chris Christopherson, country music legend and a Star is Born leading man, passes away at 88. Chris Christopherson, who attained success as both a groundbreaking country music singer-songwriter and a Hollywood film and TV star, passed away Saturday at home in Maui, Hawaii. No cause of death was given, but he was described as passing away peacefully while surrounded by family. He was 88. Said his family in a statement, "It is with heavy heart that we share the news of our husband, father, grandfather, Chris Christopherson. Passed away peacefully on Saturday, September 28 at home. We're also blessed for our time with him. Thank you for loving him all these many years. And when you see a rainbow, know he's smiling down at us all." The statement was offered on behalf of Christopherson's wife, Lisa, his 8 children, Tracy, Chris Jr., Casey, Jesse, Jody, John, Kelly, and Blake, and his 7 grandchildren. I had to take a quick drink there. Kyle Young,
No problem,
the
dude.
CEO of the Country Music Hall of Fame and Museum, said Chris Christopherson believed to his core that creativity is God-given, and that those who ignore or deflect such a holy gift are doomed to failure and unhappiness.
Nice.
He
Put.
preached,
Yeah, I agree.
yeah, there we go. I mean, he preached that life of the mind gives voice to the soul. And then he created a body of work that gave voice not only to his soul, but to ours. Chris's heroes include prize fighter Muhammad Ali, the great poet William Blake, and hillbilly Shakespeare himself, Hank Williams. I haven't heard that in a long time. He lived his life in a way that honored and exemplified the values of each of those men, and he leaves a righteous, courageous, resounding legacy that rings to theirs.
Nice.
Christopherson had already spent several modestly successful years in Music City songmills by the time he broke through as the as the author of such number one country hits as "For the Good Times" with Ray Price in 1970. Sunday Morning came down with Johnny Cash. That was also 1970. Help
Awesome.
make it through the night. That was Sammy Smith in 71. And his song, "Me and Bobby McGee," which became a posthumous number one hit for his former paramour, Janis Joplin, in 1971. His first 4 albums for Monument Records, which showcased his rough, unmannered singing and poetically crafted proto-outlaw country songs, as all reached the country top 10. And 1972's "Jesus Was a Capricorn," which contained his number one country hit, "Why Me," topped the country LP chart. He won 3 Grammys for Best Country Song, "Help Me Make It Through the Night," and a pair of duets with Rita Coolidge, whom he was married to from 1973 to 1980. Bill C. Malone Noted in Country Music USA, the standard history of the genre, Christofferson's lyrics often spoke of loneliness, alienation, and pain, but they also celebrated freedom and honest relationships and an intimate, sensuous language that had been rare to country music. Christofferson could be the first to knock his own voice. I don't think I'm that good of a singer, he said in 2016 Rolling Stone interview. I can't think of a song that I've written that I don't like the way somebody else sings it better. But with many of his signature songs, fans would not have wanted them channeled through any other voice, least of all one that smoothed out the raw segments.
Wow, Rolling
Probably
Stones
worked out
did
for-
something. Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, I'm sorry, which would work with Janis Joplin. But back to you, Cash.
Yeah, look, Rolling Stones actually can still sometimes do good work. It's amazing.
Yeah, it's rare, but it happens.
Just like Variety sometimes can do good work too.
Yeah. The musician's lean good looks and laid-back persona made him a natural for pictures. He made his first mark on screen in Bill L. Norton's 1972 feature Cisco Pike, in which he played the title character, an LA musician and drug dealer under the thumb of corrupt narcotics cop Gene Hackman, another giant. The feature also employed several Christofferson songs on its soundtrack, as it should. Through the 70s, he enjoyed a rising movie profile, playing romantic leads opposite Susan Anspach in Paul Mercalzi's Bloom in Love, 1973, and Oscar winner Ellen
Bernstein,
Bernstein, yeah,
Bernstein?
and Martin
I think,
Scorsese's Bernstein.
Bernstein.
Yeah,
Bernstein.
yeah.
You're
I always
good.
had trouble with that last name.
It's all right.
And
We'll
Martin
get these
Scorsese's Alice Doesn't Live Here Anymore in 1974. In 1977, co-billed with Barbra Streisand, he won a Golden Globe Award as Desolate Rock Star in the third version of A Star Is
Yeah.
Born.
I think that was the first one because The Star is Born has been A Star is Born has been remade 4 times now. I think the last one was with Lady Gaga, and yeah.
Oh God,
it's crazy.
As much as I don't like Barbra Streisand, that's definitely a downgrade. However, he hit hard bumps in Hollywood in a couple of legendary troubled productions. He co-starred with James Coburn, great actor.
Great
and
actor,
Sam,
man.
Yeah, and Sam
had a smoking
Peckinpah's,
addition, but great actor. Yeah.
Yeah,
yeah.
But he had it was like an arthritis that he could barely move with the arthritis he had, which was bad. And James Peckinpah, a great director, ambitious 1973 Western, Pat Garrett in Billy the Kid, appearing as the notorious outlaw. The film became notorious because celebrity after it was taken out of the director's hands and recut by MGM. Christofferson went on to star in Peckinpah's Convoy, 1978, based on a W.C. McCall's CB theme, a radio-themed hit. While the film made money, the actors' notices were dismal. And I always, at that time, even I thought that was unique. Here you have a singer starring in a movie about another singer's song. It's like, whoa, am I living in Bizarro world? Christofferson's acting career never completely recovered after he starred in Michael Cimino's 1980s Western epic Heaven's Gate, dogged by pre-release chatter about cost overruns. Oh yeah, and Cimino's on-set performance. The film received devastating reviews and was almost immediately withdrawn from release and drastically re-edited. United Artists, which was sold to MGM by Transamerica in the wake of the decade, wrote off the picture entire $44 million cost a week after its premiere. Its title became virtually synonymous with Tinseltown's excess hubris until some guy out in California had people put on black sneakers, Nike sneakers, and drink and have some. No, really. I mean, that kind of lessened that when that happened. But oh yeah, I mean, it's a beautiful film. It looks so beautiful and all that. But yeah, everything was a mess with that, and it's a shame that Christopherson had to suffer for that. In the face of withering criticism, Christopherson always maintained a staunch defense of Heaven's Gate, which later gained critical respect, and it did.
That happens. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you give it another once over on it, or you see it for the first time, and it's like I didn't know it was Heaven's Gate, and I was watching it. I was just enthralled, and I couldn't stay up because it was like on the Late Late Show type of thing. And then that's when I discovered that this was Heaven's Gate. It's like, whoa, what I'm seeing here is just beautiful. It was a touching scene where he was dancing with a lady in there. So, which later gained critical respect. In a 2012 video interview included in the Criterion Collection home video release of the film, he said, both Michael and his movie deserve better. It deserved being treated like a work of art and not as some failed economic venture. 100% right there. You're right on it. And that's, I think, as you look at it, I think what that new film that Francis Ford
Megalopolis or whatever.
Yeah. I keep on wanting to say Metropolis, but Megalopolis. I think the people are going to see that. That's going to happen to that too. During the 1980s, he slowly regained his career footing with Willie Nelson, who recorded a best-selling album of Christopherson's song in 1979. He co-starred in Alan Rudolph's 1984 feature Songwriter. Their collaborative song score received an Academy Award nomination. Now, this is when it really goes great. In 1985, Christopherson, Willie Nelson, Johnny Cash, Waylon Jennings convened for the album Highwayman, a #1 country album that introduced the outlaw country supergroup, ultimately known as the Highwaymen. The quartet issued 2 more popular albums in 90 and 95. I tell you,
wow, I got to look into that. That's awesome.
Yeah. When I first heard the Highwaymen, the song, it's like, holy cow, this is good. And just think of those voices all together in one. And right now, Willie Nelson is the last one surviving from them. Waylon being the first, Johnny Cash the second, and now, of course, Chris Christopherson. Makes me want to cry. His film career continued, because I was a country guy back in the day, when it was country and Western. The two. We have both kinds of music here, country and Western. His film career continued apace, albeit in smaller roles. He ultimately tallied more than 100 movies and TV acting appearances. In 1996, he garnered strong reviews as a sadistic Texas lawman, aren't they all? And John Sayles' Lone Star. In 1998, he made the first of 3 appearances as vampire hunter Abram Whistler, opposite Wesley Snipes. In the popular comic book franchise Blade. After parting with
go ahead. No, you're good.
Okay. After parting ways with Monument in the early 80s, Christopherson recorded solo only sporadically. He nonetheless received strong reviews for 3 poignant and personal latter-day albums. A Moment of Forever, 1995, This Old Road, 06, and Closer to the Bone, 09. Nakedly produced by Don Was. He issued 2013's Feeling Mortal on his own KK record imprint. Good thing you stopped there, Chris. 2004 inductee in the Country Music Hall of Fame, Christopherson received a Lifetime Achievement Award from the Recording Industry Academy in 2015, well deserved. At the time of the latter honor, his contemporary and friend Rodney Crowell wrote that Christopherson had created a narrative style that introduced intelligence, humor, emotional eloquence, spiritual longing, male vulnerability, and a devilish sensuality. Indeed, a form of eroticism to country music. He was born on June 2nd, 1936 in Brownsville, Texas. His father was a career Army Air Corps and Army Air Force officer, and his family moved frequently. He attended high school in San Mateo, California. I had to get that right.
San Mateo.
Mateo, yeah.
Yeah, the California boys were going to attack me. Where he proved both a strong student and a gifted athlete. He graduated summa cum laude with a degree in English from Pomona College and attended Oxford University in England as a Rhodes Scholar. You have to be pretty smart, or Bill Clinton to do that. While in the UK, Christopherson cut his first records as Chris Carson. However, on returning to the U.S., he joined the Army under pressure from his family. He ultimately attained the rank of Captain Chris Christopherson, and was able to pilot a helicopter. However, on the eve of beginning an assignment to teach English at West Point, he left the Army, and in 1965, he moved to Nashville to pursue music full-time. His family promptly cut ties with him.
Wow.
I guess they were serious Army people after all.
Yeah, that's messed up, though.
Well, yeah.
Oh, well.
What can I say? Christopherson scuffled in Music City for 4 years, working as a commercial chopper pilot and sweeping out Columbia Records' local studios, where he reputedly first crossed paths with his future Pat Garrett co-star, Bob Dylan, in town to record Blonde on Blonde. It took some convincing to get one of country music's most prominent performers to pay attention to his songs in an incident that became a Nashville legend. Johnny Cash later recalled, "I really didn't listen to them until one day he was flying a National Guard helicopter, and he landed in my yard, and I was taking a nap, and June said, 'Some fool has landed in a helicopter in our yard. They used to come by the road. Now they're coming from the air.' And I looked up, and here comes Chris out of a helicopter with a beer in one hand and a tape in the other." How was that? Did that do good?
It's pretty good. Yeah.
Thank you. I love Johnny Cash.
Yeah,
As recorded by Cash live on Johnny Cash Show, Christopherson's Monday Morning Coming Down became one of the writer's first significant hits, and it was honored as Song of the Year by Country Music Association. He accepted the award in a famously bleary televised appearance. Now legitimized as one of the country's most distinguished hit-crafting writers, with notable covers such as other top talents as Ray Stevens, though if they call him the Streak, Bobby Bear, Roger Miller. Ooh, I never really considered Roger Miller country, but oh well. And Waylon Jennings, to his credit. He was signed to Monument in a long-term pact. His 1970 debut LP, Christopherson, saw meager sales, but it rose to number 10 on the country charts in 1971. And that's not bad.
No.
After the label retitled the set Me and Bobby McGee in the wake of Joplin's hit rendition.
Wow.
Country music outlaw even before the term attained currency. Christopherson racked up 8 consecutive 70 albums in the top 25, country top 25. His mix of laconic charm and cool danger brought him a run of starring roles in Hollywood vehicles that include The Sailor Who Fell from Grace with the Sea and Semi-Tough. I thought the Japanese were bad with long titles like that. However, by the time Heaven's Gate crashed and burned at the box office, alcohol and drug abuse had laid the hard-living performer low personally. And in other words, he was going the Hank Williams way. He told The Guardian in 2008 that at the time, he finally cut back on his drinking following his split with Coolidge. The doctor said my liver was the size of a football. Ugh. And that if I don't quit, I was going to kill myself. His Renaissance music and film careers proceeded steadily, if not spectacularly, in comparison to his early stardom. From 80s onward, acting served as a principal focus in his latter years. So, though he continued to tour regularly, his recordings for Mercury Records Repossessed in 86, and Third World Warrior, that's a great title. In 1990, contained outspoken sentiment on his left-tilting political wings. Yeah, we knew it. His deeds often spoke just as loudly. Just 2 weeks after Sinead O'Connor ripped up a photo of Pope John Paul II on Saturday Night Live in 1992, she walked on stage at Madison Garden to perform a tribute concert for Bob Dylan to thunderous boos and heckling.
Tumultuous.
Yeah.
Well, I like thundering because it's easier to say. Okay.
Whatever you want. He wanted to.
Yeah, whatever I want. I'm reading the I'm calmer than you are.
You see, works. You see, folks. There are some words I can pronounce no problem.
Yeah, he outdid me. I'm shamed now. I'm crying. I'm crying.
It's definitely one of the longest articles we've read. This is great. All right, continue.
Well, Christofferson, who introduced her as an artist whose name became synonymous with courage and integrity, had been asked to get her off stage. Instead, he did the opposite. I was not about to do that, Christofferson said in 2010 on the Irish talk show Saturday Night with Miriam. I went out and I said, "Don't let the bastards get you down." And she said, "I'm not down." And she sang. It was very courageous. It just seemed to me wrong, booing that little girl out there, but she always had courage. I wouldn't have called her a little girl. Not at that time. As a songwriter, he strived to find a balance between the strictly personal and the bigger concerns. Talking with CMT in 2009, Christofferson said, "I think you have to make it work on a one-to-one level first, as if you're talking right to the person." Wow, right? But you just hope that you've written it well enough that people can identify with it and that it works on other levels. Okay, I know we're doing a bit, but I'm sure Chris would appreciate this. I really
What the hell you say?
You want to know why this man was loved? Just there. An attitude we don't see in Hollywood.
Not much.
Of me and Bobby McGee, he said, I remember.
If you don't want to read any more of this, Baron, you don't have to.
Okay,
I think we all get the gist of his career, and
yeah, we do. Yeah, they're just they really went all out. I mean, they talk about even at the end of this.
I mean,
speaking about other songwriters, Dylan said everything. Oh, go ahead.
Very lengthy article, and
yeah.
Now, Cash, you know why they had two writers.
Yeah, now I know why. Like the end of this, speaking of other songwriters, I'll read a little bit of this. Dylan said everything was all right until Christofferson came to town. Oh, they ain't seen anybody like him. He came into Nashville like a wildcat, flew his helicopter into Johnny Cash's backyard like a typical songwriter laughter, and then he went for the throat. Sunday Morning Countdown, and then it starts singing some of the lyrics. So yeah, I mean, a lot of people had a lot of nice things to say about this guy.
Well, not only that, he is part of our community because he did star in that horrible film, but still, it's one of ours,
right?
Millennium.
Well, also, he was in the Blade feature, so
yeah, he was, which is very cool. That's very cool. Yeah. Bob Dylan held him in such high regard that he quoted Sunday Morning coming down at length in an unexpectedly long speech accepting an award from the Recording Academy's Music Care Foundation in 2015in. So yeah.
It's Bob Dylan. Of course, it's going to be long.
Of course, yeah. Right.
It's going to be long.
Music Care. Music Care or Music Care. Oh, just the foundation, the Recording Academy's Music Care, I think. MUSI Cares Foundation. Now, I've never heard of that, so.
I haven't either. But Bob Dylan, I tell you what.
Bob Dylan, man. Oh, see,
Dylan, baby.
yeah.
Zippity zazz, zippity doo.
Zippity
And a Hibbing boy. He's a Hibbing boy from Minnesota. Hibbing, Minnesota.
That movie
Bob
actually looks
Zimmerman.
pretty interesting. That's coming out about his life, though. Another one, I guess, or
Oh, okay. So I remember the one where you had different races and ethnicities playing him at certain points in his life.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Timothy Chalamet's going to be a young Bob Dylan, so we'll see how that goes.
Can he talk like this?
Yeah.
He's going to talk like
I was-
this.
I was gonna say, could Timothy Chalamet talk like Bob Dylan?
Oh, man.
You know, the thing is,
If there's one person who's easy to imitate, it's Bob Dylan.
oh yeah, it's like I can do Bob Dylan. Yeah, you and half the other citizens of this nation. Yeah, you got something else.
Yeah.
But you know, it's going to be something where Bob Dylan will live forever because he is so out of it. You know, he won't know when it's time to go. I mean, it'll come and go, and you know, death will finally sit back and say, "I can't handle this," and he's going to walk off because Bob Dylan, he's going to be giving his farewell speech to the world, and it's going to be like,
Liberty
this,
Dab
and
Dab
it's
the
gonna keep on
Buddha.
going.
I'm still here.
Yeah.
I'm 20 years
Yeah.
old. I'm
Doing
still
that.
here.
And
So-
and death is going to sit back and say, "I'll see you in the millennium."
Yep. So they said, of course, just a little bit more reading this. Among his final public appearances, Christofferson participated in duets of both nights of the Willie Nelson 90th birthday celebration at the Hollywood Bowl in 2023, singing "Love Her Was Easier Than Anything I'll Ever Do Again."
that
And
was
real
one
quick,
good
I do want to get into John Amos as well, and then we can talk about
Oh,
both of them before
for
we
sure.
talk about Josh Brolin and stuff, and then we'll move over to Rumble and
Okay.
Okay.
talk about a couple things over there. And
Another long episode of Pop Talk.
well, I did say I had quite a
Okay.
few articles, and some of these articles you can't just go through real quick and
Yeah.
and
No,
find
Well,
things.
I
That
not
was
saying
that
it
was
bad.
a long article, so I wanted to make sure I read some of it
Well,
myself.
I'm
So
glad.
yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
I'm glad someone stopped me, or I kept on going. Well, Mike can stop me anytime. It's his show.
I
Don't
did,
we
I
read?
did,
And
I
yeah.
did.
that was one of the longest articles we've probably ever
I
read.
gave
so
I gave you the south
a
side at
lot
third
of
base,
information.
and you
lot of
ran at third
information.
base and started hitting for home.
Hey, that's how good I am.
Yeah. Besides, they said they had two writers, so why not have two people read that article?
Yeah, I
Baron?
know. But
How bad we are.
we
Right.
also lost John Amos. Good
Yeah.
times. Dad and Roots actor, also
Die
in
Hard,
Coming to America.
America.
Die Hard, yep.
Mm-hmm.
Dies at 84. We're losing too many good people this year.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean,
We really are. It's
and no
sad.
replacements.
No,
No replacements. No,
I don't know who's going to replace these people. I really don't.
I don't either.
There may be a
So-
few, but hopefully.
And this article is by Jordan Maru. And it says John Amos, the star of Good Times, Roots, and more, died on August 21st in Los Angeles of natural causes. His representative confirmed to Variety on Tuesday he was 84. It is with heartfelt sadness that I share with you that my father has transitioned, said his son Kelly Christopher Amos in a statement. He was a man with the kindest heart and a heart of gold, and he was loved the world over. Many fans consider him their TV father. He lived a good life. His legacy will live on in his outstanding works in television and film as an actor. My father loved working as an actor throughout his entire life, most recently in Suits LA, playing himself, and our documentary about his life journey as an actor. America's Dad He was my dad, my best friend, and my hero. Thank you for your prayers and support at this time. Born December 27th, 1939, in Newark, New Jersey. He was from Jersey.
Noisy boy.
Yeah. Amos' acting career picked up when he landed the role of weatherman Gordon Gordy Howard on The Mary Tyler Moore Show in 1970. From there, he brought his comedic talents to CBS Good Times, a spinoff of Maude, and All in the Family, and played Father James Evans Sr. in 1974. The Norman Lear program made history as the first TV show to follow an African American two-parent household. The hard-working and devoted father figure role resonated with audiences. After 3 seasons, however, Amos was displeased with the direction of the show and portrayal of his character, son James J.J. Evans Jr. He was fired after season 3, and season 4 began by killing James Evans Sr. off screen. Amos received an Emmy nomination in 1977 for his role as adult Kunta Kinte in the ABC historical miniseries Roots. The series about slavery in the United States won 9 Emmys, a Golden Globe, a Peabody Award, and received massive viewership in the country. More than 130 million people tuned in to the series, which was more than half the population of the US in 1977. The final episode holds the record for the 3rd highest rated episode of any type of TV series and the 2nd most watched series finale in history. Yet, if you listen to the narrative that present day Hollywood and the media likes to give you, we never cared about minority characters.
No. People were pissed how they treated the character. And moreover, the co-star, the mother who played the mother, she was irate because, oh, great. Now you've turned it back into a single parent black family.
Mm-hmm. Gotcha. Yeah.
And which is what they didn't want. And, that caused friction with her on the show.
I bet.
But even fans, I mean, how can you not like John Amos?
Yes.
He great actor.
Mm-hmm.
Excellent
He had that personality that everybody gravitated to.
Mm-hmm.
Amos also appeared in shows like About the Andersons, The West Wing, 2.5 Men, and The Ranch. His final television role will arrive in the forthcoming series Suits LA on film. He had roles in Eddie Murphy's Coming to America and its 2021 sequel Coming to America, Die Hard 2, The Beastmaster, Lock Up, and Me Time. He and his son also produced the upcoming documentary about his life titled America's Dad. We are so proud to have represented John, said Julia Buchwald, president of Buchwald. He was not only a remarkable talent, but also a deeply kind and generous soul. His impact on the industry and those who knew him will never be forgotten. Outside of film and TV, Amos wrote, produced, and starred in a one-man play titled Haley's Comet. He also appeared on Broadway in August Wilson's Gem of the Ocean. Before he began acting, he played college football at Colorado State University and suited up for the 1967 NFL off season with the Kansas City Chiefs. Dang. Very talented man, and like you said, Baron, no one to replace him.
Right. I mean,
yeah,
it's
who's
like
going to replace these people?
Yeah. I mean, AI? Right, yeah.
No.
And it's kind of funny. He's now toppled Bill Cosby off the list of America's Dad.
I'd rather have John Amos.
Yeah, me too. Don't get me wrong. That's why I find it funny. It's like, John Amos and He's much more befitting for that, especially after things that came out about Bill.
Mm-hmm.
What about Bill? You know, I know it's what about Bob, but still, it's a joke. Lighten up. But yeah, I mean, I think that's apropos to have him. I mean, he became Eddie Murphy's father-in-law with Coming to America and Coming to America 2.
Yeah.
Now, he owned a successful restaurant and with McDougal's, even though he was constantly being harassed by the clowns about it, always trying to, put the man down. The man trying to put him down. But yeah, it's. I know they threw the Roots in, right? But I know for the day it was monumental.
Mm-hmm.
But when it comes around to the day, what do you think has more impact with the people out there? And they should have put Coming to America on there. Because, here he was in that film, did a great performance, and he's more well known for that.
Yeah.
Than he is for Roots. Roots is almost, and I don't mean being cruel. This is not me being mean.
Yeah.
But it's more of a history note now. It's one of those things that everybody talks about but never watches, just like the books that people talk about but never read. But they'll sure open up the book of Coming to America.
Movie's hilarious.
It
Quality
is.
story too. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It is, especially when Arsenio Hall in. Oh my God! Get this,
James Earl
Arsenio
Jones.
Hall. Yeah, but Arsenio Hall and Eddie Murphy are doing whiteface.
That's right.
And dare I say even worse, Jew face, because some of them are Jewish characters.
Yeah.
Oh, cancel them.
That's right.
No, we didn't care because why? It was funny.
Yeah.
Yep.
We had a sense of humor. We could laugh back then.
That's right.
Yep. Exactly.
Yep. A lot of people don't still have a sense of humor anymore. So.
And we're also
Sad.
amazed with their ability. 2 people to do that scene with how many characters? It's like, wow. It was funny. It was spectacular to watch, and John Amos, in his own way, was part of that.
Yes.
That movie.
Yep. He had a solid role in that movie.
In many ways, it probably wouldn't have worked, that character, if it wasn't him.
I'm not
So
sure.
again, I don't think so. Who else would you put in there?
I don't know.
I can't think of
James Earl
anybody
Jones?
off the top of my head right now.
Samuel
James Earl
Jackson's
Jones.
role, even though it was small, was funny in that too.
I would say James Earl Jones, except for one thing. James Earl Jones already had a role in there.
That's right. Exactly.
So it's like we got a win-win with that.
I agree.
Cash is falling asleep.
I'm not.
He's getting ready to set his head on the keyboard.
Go to sleep, little Cash.
No.
It's late now in California.
Fortunately, I didn't sleep that well, but it's okay.
You never sleep well.
I do actually sometimes. Baron, shut up.
For us to lose a talent like John Amos, it hurts.
Yeah.
And not just him, but a lot of the talents that we've lost this year.
Yes. Yeah. It's ridiculous.
And the year's not even over yet, unfortunately.
Nope.
Oh God, no! Don't.
Hey, you guys know me. I'm just gonna rip off the Band-Aid.
Well, thank you. Next time we'll remind the guy. But yeah, I mean, let it be notable bad guys that pass away, like the Ayatollah, are
right.
Gosh. Or whatever drug lord kingpin is rotten.
Yeah, because it seems like the people who are actually evil seem to live longer than some of these people who are considered good people. It's aggravating. It really is.
Well, to quote Billy Joel, "Only the good die young. Only the good die."
Right.
And heaven help me the day that he passes away. Oh God.
Yeah.
Major consoling of the missus. Oh, she's such a big Billy fan. So let's hope he lives forever. But John Amos, Thank you. Thank you for everything, John.
Yes. Thank you for Good Times. Thank you for Die Hard. Thank you for Coming to America. Also, thank you for Roots.
all the entertainment that you
Yes.
gave all of us.
Yeah, Mary Tyler Moore Show. A lot of people don't realize that she was on there.
Yeah, I didn't actually know that because, of course, I first found out about John Amos through Good Times. So.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, I want to watch Mary Tyler Moore and start watching the old, the first episodes again. It's like, oh, that's right, he was on there.
That's crazy.
Yeah, and Good Times was never the same after he left.
No. They felt it.
Yep, they did.
But they wanted to go with the catchphrase.
Dynamite.
Dynamite. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
And we have one more story that we are going to get to before we go over to the Rumble side and talk about a couple others that are on our minds. So I'm going to go ahead and pull up the next story. And this comes from comicbook.com and says Josh Brolin confirms those Hal Jordan Green Lantern talks and possible DC future. This is by Charlie Wrigley, and it was posted on the 30th. Josh Brolin says things didn't work out with DC's Green Lantern series. It says, therefore, a bit comic book fans believe that Josh Brolin, who has already played Thanos and Cable, was set to lead DC Studios in HBO's Green Lantern TV series. Reports indicated that Brolin was being eyed for the role of Hal Jordan, arguably the most well-known Green Lantern, playing an older version of the character that would be showing the ropes to a younger Jon Stewart. Brolin later turned down the role, which ultimately went to Friday Night Lights and Bloodline star Kyle Chandler, and Brolin is ready for other potential projects in the future. While speaking to Comic Book about his new movie Brothers, which he stars alongside Peter Dinklage, Brolin addressed the talks with DC and confirmed that he wasn't taking on the role.
With who? With who? Dink, 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 dink. Okay, back to you, Mike. I had to do that.
Real quick before I continue on, I do want to say hello to Leah Rose. It is good to see you this evening.
Hey, Leah.
Hi, Leah Rose.
Always good to see you. Yeah. Yeah.
Even
Really,
if you
I
support
like
Silverback.
Brolin's acting a lot. As a human being, though, yeah, questions.
He goes on to say, you know what? Green Lantern didn't work out, but that's okay, Brolin told us. It's working out. Who is it going to be? Kyle Chandler? I love him as an actor. I think he's wonderful, actually. And, we'll see what's down the line, man. The last part is key, as Brolin seems to leave the door open for another role in the new DC universe. Should one open up down the line, he has already played Thanos in several films in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, as well as a turn as Cable in Deadpool 2. Adding a major DC role would make him one of the more prolific performers in the comic book movie space. Ozark's Chris Mundy is serving as the showrunner for Lanterns and co-writing alongside Damon Lindelof, Watchmen, The Leftovers. Well, I heard that Watchmen series wasn't that great.
It was oh God. And, if that's one time when you can sit back and really side with Alan Moore trashing it.
Yes, good old Alan Moore. He's an interesting one.
He's insane.
Yes. It's trying to be a little bit. Well, no, we'll go with yours.
Yeah. You better.
He's also writing it with DC Comics writer Tom King. This HBO series is said to be a murder mystery that plays more like a season of True Detective than a typical superhero adventure. We are elated to be reuniting with both Chris Mundy and Damon Lindroth as a partner with Tom for this fresh take on DC's Green Lantern. Casey Bloys, chairman and CEO HBO and Max Content, said in a statement when Lanterns was officially greenlit as part of James and Peter's vision for the DC universe, this new live action series will mark an exciting new era.
They always do that.
Yeah. And you can see why I saved the story for last.
Well, you know what we got here is James Brolin sitting there going, "Yeah, Hal Jordan. Do you have any characters out there that's more like me, an asshole?" Well, we did have one in the Green Lantern universe, but Guy Gardner was taken already.
Yeah.
Damn it, I'm out of here.
Yeah, and Kyle Chandler is actually a really good actor, but I do agree with other people that he may be just a bit too old to play Hal Jordan.
Well, it did say in this article he was going to be playing an older Hal Jordan.
If he's playing an older one, then yeah. But
Yeah,
I can understand how people feel about that. I mean, Spike from the Cowboy Bebop series, John Cho was like 50 at the time, and Spike is supposed to be a 28-year-old man. So
right. Well, see,
yeah.
So this is not the first time we've had our heroes portrayed older because they
Right.
are older. Again, it's a passing of the
But with
lantern.
if they really are going in that direction with Hal Jordan being older than Kyle Chandler might work. He is a really good actor. I'm not saying he's got a lot of range. He was good in King Kong. Of course, he was really good in Friday Night Lights. And,
Yeah.
As the coach.
Yeah. So
father.
I mean, when you're doing if you're doing like Kingdom Come, or if you're doing, the passing of the torch, and you're an older Hal Jordan, it's time to hang up the lantern. It's perfect to have an older, talented actor. But the thing is everyone always gets Batman wrong. Batman's supposed to be 25, and what do we get? 40-year-old chin called Ben Affleck or something playing the part. So. Oh, by the way, speaking of that, before we go,
yes,
yeah, there's some. Just a second, let me find it. I think it's a rather important piece here. But
and I'm guessing this series, if we want to actually watch this, might be what, on HBO or something?
Max, probably.
Max, HBO
Max,
yeah, whatever.
Yeah, don't change your name to something stupid.
Right, please don't. HBO Max was a good name. What the hell?
Yeah. Well, HBO is supposed to have a stronger presence.
Yes.
No, I mean HBO.
No, I agree, man. I don't understand these decisions. Max,
but
X.
I have been able. I do have some sources, in Hollywood, and I was able to find it. Remember a while back we sat back and said that Cash Monet was the stand-in for Ben Affleck while Ben was on the phone begging J-Lo not to leave him again, and so but they need to have that body double. Well, here it is. There's Cash. Look at that chin. It's Cash.
Oh man. I don't know if I would have that expression, but that is funny.
No, that's you, man. Don't lie.
I don't know about the expression.
Be proud, man.
Where is the trigger? Alfred.
Hey, so before we go to Rumble exclusively, is there anything you guys would like to promote on your YouTube channels?
Well, I'll
ahead,
start off. I hope to have soon. I knew I was going to do it Monday, but unfortunately, some excrement got flung in the wind and went my direction.
Yes.
But I do hope to record a stream of me playing a little game called Contraband Police and get it out there for all. Make it my first true official video. I'm surprised that the test video had so many views and that many likes and only one dislike. I mean, I felt bad there was only one dislike. There should have been more. But so I'll do better next time. But so I'll have that out there. And of course, Cash and I are going to be on Jace's 540 studio tomorrow, starting anytime between 6 and 6:30 because it's Central Standard Time because Jace has Norwegian time. He goes,
That's right.
Let's just face it. So it's like, well, whenever. So that's again on Jace Hall's 540 studios. And do you want me to plug the other one, or do you want to do it, Cash Rolla?
You can plug it. That's fine.
Yeah, because you're lazy. Okay, and of course, if you wander to a Rumble exclusive Snooty, we're better than you. We have Cranky Old Fans. That's on Tuesday. Every
Tuesday at 8 p.m. Yes.
Yeah, 8 o'clock Pacific time, but 10 o'clock in the most important Central Standard Time. That's more important to know.
That's more important, right?
And that's basically that's about an hour-long show where we discuss at least 2 topics on things. It's not topical, but we do have topics. So we had our second show yesterday. And, of course, we all invite you to, get Rumble and go over there and watch and enjoy and love us, appreciate, adore us. Again, with Cash Money and me. Cash Money Madness, Rumble channel. Back to you, Mike.
All right. So, Cash, I take it you're not going to promote anything because Baron pretty much did it all.
He promoted most of it, but yeah, right. Sometimes. So Friday we're back again with Star Trek Online, and that'll be at 6:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, and we will see if Spock will be joining us. If not, he'll be doing stuff on the sidelines, I guess, as he said. I don't know. Either one, but that'll be so we'll have another fun Star Trek, and I'm hoping my ship is.
Did you just say Star Trek?
Trek.
Yeah.
I said Trek. Anyways,
roll the tape.
You heard nothing. You heard nothing. No, I just
sorry.
Yes,
I did hear it. So I'm playing this.
No,
I am playing
I-
this. I heard it, and I am playing this clip because I heard it.
He said, "Today is a good day to die."
I just can't help it sometimes because what Star Trek has turned into is Star Trek. It's on literally the wrong track. But anyways,
Now comes the part where we throw our heads back and laugh. Ready? Ready!
That's right. I agree. But no, Star Trek, we're going to be playing at 6 Star Trek or STO, whatever you want to call it. We're going to be playing at 6:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time on Friday. So I'm hoping that my ship is going to be a bit beefed up by then because I was not too happy about being killed by the Romulans.
He's giving your ship steroids.
That's right. Yep. That was a pretty tough mission. So that's okay though. We got through it. So whatever.
So
Phil
Cash is
wants
going to
to
violate
say-
the temporal.
Yes.
Time directive. He's going to go into the future. He's going to bring back technology from the future, equip it on his ship, and
There
make
you
his
go.
ship unstoppable.
That's right.
Therefore, violating the temporal prime directive.
Sure.
Wait a moment.
Why not?
You just described the season ending of Voyager.
I did, didn't I?
Oh, man.
Except in Endgame, it was Janeway from the future coming to the past with technology from the future.
Okay, so
Instead of Cass going to the future and bringing back
But
technology from
Bring
said
back
future.
the technology.
how do we know that this
I
is
am
future?
sorry, I couldn't help it. I got to talk like this. That's why I'm talking about Star Trek. And hello to Redsnum.
Hello.
How are you?
Oh,
How do you
man.
know this isn't Cash from the future?
Sure.
It could
Well,
be.
You know who's from the future. At least 3 hours in the future from Cash, and 1 hour from the future from you. It's me. I'm from the future.
That's right.
And let me tell you, nothing's changed. Nothing's changed at all.
Actually, it's gotten
But,
worse, hasn't it?
So yeah, that's coming up on the Phantom Hooligans and then Cash Money
Hooligans.
007. Well, we're getting into the Booligan season, so
No, we are in the Booligan season. It's October 2nd. You
All
are now
right,
officially the
whatever.
Booligans.
Fair enough.
Okay, okay,
All right.
Ratsnum. Okay, yeah, I know. You guys start too damn early, or I'm always late. And being on time is racism and white supremacy. All right, all right.
Well, that must be in the Rumble.
Yeah,
But
he
yes,
is on the rumble.
Oh yeah,
so that's
I see
coming
it.
up,
See,
and then
unlike you guys last night on Cranky Old Fans, I
yeah,
don't see the Rumble chat in
I know,
StreamYard.
and I feel bad about that, kind of, but
That's why I have the Rumble chat pulled up on my other screen so I can
yes,
see anyone who comes in, like Redsnom.
yeah, that's right.
Well,
But yeah,
now
so
I
that's
can. I got my monitors.
that's coming up on the Phantom Hooligans, and then I'm probably going to do. I'm still. I don't know. We'll see how I feel. As Baron was telling me backstage yesterday, look, you only got 2 days if you're going to do it before Friday, so we'll see what happens with the Splatoon 3 stream. The live
One day.
one day, right? But I'm working on some more videos too, and those will be a surprise. So yeah.
Okay.
And then of course, make sure to check out part 2 of Another Crab's Treasure that I just recently put up on Monday. So.
You stop it there, Redsnom. He says, "Hey, I don't make the rules. Democrats do." You stop it right there, good man.
Anyways, but that's all coming up on the Phantom Hooligans, Cash Money 007 and stuff. So,
all right. So, coming up on the YouTube channel and Rumble channel tomorrow for Pacific Forum 4, I'm gonna Rambo it. That's right. I'm gonna Rambo it in Contra. Yeah,
that's right. And I plan to join Mike for a little while before the other streams.
That's right. Cash and I, we're gonna Rambo it in Contra Galuga, Operation Galuga, and it's time to Rambo it. My style.
They need to protect America's source of cocaine.
America. But anyways, yeah.
That reminds me, Cash. Thank you for the reminder when we go to Rumble. Thank you.
You know it.
You forgot last time, yeah.
Well, we haven't done a Rumble side only portion on Wednesdays for a while because of all the activity we had in September. Which, speaking of which, before we go, I want to thank each and every one of you who came by the channel and watched any video or any of the streams that we did in September. Greatly appreciated. You made September one of the most successful months of 2024.
Awesome.
I can say that February and March were successful earlier this year, and now September was another successful month. So thank you to each and every single one of you for your support of Pacific Forum 4. I do greatly appreciate it. Whether, you left a like, a dislike, shared out the stream, you left a comment in the chat, still, I appreciate your support. Without you, this channel's not here.
And let us not forget the army of bots that Phil has that helped that also. Thank you, Phil, and your bot army.
And Redstone says, by the way, you can still get explosive deals at Honest Shlomo's House of Discount Pagers and Electronics, now with a premium line of surface-to-air missiles. Undetected, but the U.S. Border Patrol. He might have meant by. But anyways, folks, seriously, thank you for the successful September. Let's keep it going into this month of October, where Jason Fox of 540 Studio and I were talking, and we are thinking on the 23rd of this month of doing a dual stream, a dual watch party stream on that particular Wednesday, where we are going to watch the original Crow starring Jason Lee for the month of October. And now what I'm thinking, and that'll probably, hopefully, I'm hoping it'll be either on the 13th or on the 20th. If it's on the 20th of that week of the 20th, it's going to be a watch party on the Sunday edition of Pop Talk and a watch party on the Wednesday edition of Pop Talk. But excuse me, but on the Sunday edition of Pop Talk, if we happen to do it that way for that week, it'll be a doubleheader of Mel Brooks movies. The first one being Young Frankenstein. We can all have a roll in the hay if we wish. I know I'd like to roll the hay with Ingrid.
Oh yeah.
And then the second movie of that doubleheader is going to be High Anxiety.
High Anxiety.
So that's what's coming up on the channel in October. And if you all have any recommendations for other movies we should consider watching for the month of October, or if you have any game recommendations, please leave them in the comments section below, or if you follow me on social media, DM me with your suggestion and I will consider it.
Now remember when Mike sat back and said that he was talking to us about what we're doing for movies this month, it was more like, I'm telling you guys, we're doing this whether you like it or not, and this is what it is whether you like it or not. Okay? Okay, Mr. Mike.
And you two said no, so this is why I told you to.
Extinction to all traitors!
I'm not a traitor, really, honestly.
Right.
I would never think about betraying them.
But folks, we're going over to the Rumble side now, so I want to thank you all very much, and I want to thank those who popped in on the YouTube side. Of course, Baron was here first.
Hi.
Followed by Brandon Looney Tunes Fan 2000.
Who's that?
He's the host of the Beyond, the show that you two...
No, not him. The other guy.
What, this guy? You.
Oh, I'm glad you turned that MIB forgetting-nator on me. Chase Hall? He's trouble.
Mecca, thank you for stopping by again. Really appreciate it. Hope to see you come by more. Hope to see everybody come by more, to be honest.
Keep your gears oiled.
You're wrong? No. Rule number 1, Mike is always right. Rule number 2, if Mike is wrong, see rule number 1. Always good to see you. Excuse me, you're wrong. Yeah, I'm getting choked up because I don't know what links this guy's going to send me.
DJ Ronnie G, be careful, man. Just be careful.
Yeah, just watch out. Just watch out for any links he puts into the chat. You got to question them all.
Now, remember, I'm the one you can send them to, DJ, honestly.
Turtles. Nerd.
Nerd.
And Tyler Olson, thank you for stopping by. Really appreciate it. The Padawannabe. Leia Rose. And I thought I'd start him, but I didn't. And also Tim, also known as FKHC 2005. So, folks, follow us over to Rumble. The link's in the chat. Come on. Do it. You know you want to do it. Come on. Come on. Come over. Come over to the Rumble side. Come on. Come on. Let's do it. Let's do it. Later, Phantom Hooligans.